Okay. Good evening. I will now call to order the THPRD Board of Directors meeting for March 12th, 2025. Jessica, will you please call roll?
Glacius?
Here.
Tia Ping? Here. Barbie Miner?
Here.
Alfredo Moreno?
Here.
Lisa Monteleco?
Here.
We're waiting for her to come off mute.
Test, test. Test.
But it's here. She's virtual this evening.
Okay.
Before we begin, I'd like to make a motion, if I may. I move that the Board of Directors adjust this evening's agenda by moving agenda item number 6, public hearing to request an exemption from competitive bidding process, to this evening's consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Jessica, could you take a vote?
Yeah. Lisa Monteleco?
Yes. Yes.
If you can hear us, we can see your bubble, but we may need you to use raise your hand and we'll know that.
Chat.
Could you just type it in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll register your vote, Felisa.
Just chat it. Miles Glacius?
Yes.
Alfredo Moreno?
Yes.
Barbie Miner?
Yes. Okay, we have no action resulting from executive session, so we can just keep on moving. Before I welcome some of our presenters to share with us this evening, we have 2 proclamations. We will be acknowledging both Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month as well as Women's History Month. I'll just remind folks, since we've got nice contingency of people here, we decided a little earlier in the year to do something new with our proclamations. And instead of having the board solely read them, partner with community members who are engaged with the district and our representative. And so, so eager to continue to see this way of acknowledging these important milestones that happen across the calendar. And so with that, I have the pleasure of introducing some of tonight's presenters. So first up, we have Laura Carpenter. Laura is a dedicated patron of the THPRD community. She's been attending the Monday night therapeutic recreation program for over 10 years. Laura learned to swim at the Beaverton Swim Center through tailored classes offered 25 to 30 years ago, and she still loves swimming to this day. She also adores all things Mamma Mia, enjoys working when she's not participating in programs, and cherishes playing games at home with her family. Also in attendance this evening, Anna Taylor is a dedicated patron of the THPRD community. She is an accomplished author and advocate. Anna uses THPRD facilities multiple times a week and has been attending programs and events for the last 12 plus years. In addition, we're happy to welcome this evening Chelsea Huber, one of THPRD's inclusion assistant and an ASL interpreter, and she will interpret the proclamation in American Sign Language while Laura and Anna are reading our proclamation for Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And also Sophia Nichols, here with THPRD's inclusion program as a program specialist, is also here to be with our guest presenters. So Laura, Chelsea, Anna, and Sophia, if you'd like to stay where you are, if you want to use the microphone, whatever works best, we would be happy to welcome you to share in our proclamation.
Good. Can you share? Go to the microphone or stay here?
Believe it or not, these microphones they pick up pretty well.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable there and you want to do it that way, we are happy to accommodate. Well, look at, thank you, Lulu. I want to make sure we can get our interpretation on the screen too. You ready? Yes, thank you so much.
You want to start us off with our proclamations?
Yes. As THPRD is committed to serving in control of all abilities in serving. And we opportunity to play, learn, and enjoy by quality park, and we can back under these programs, service, and natural areas, and THPRD is dedicated to removing barriers to participation in trade measures, ensuring meaningful access and fostering an inclusive culture, and THPRD is committed to creating awareness about the mental disabilities, teaching the implementation of in-person within every aspect of life, and to sharing the stories of individuals with a disability to show that successful life is possible, and about 1 in 6 children in the U.S. experience one or more developmental disabilities, and whereas THPRD is a leader in Texas for all, preventing inclusion service for people of all abilities to be able to fully participate in programs and activities.
Now therefore, the Board of Directors of the 12th and Hills Parks and Recreation District do hereby declare the month of March 2025 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, and do urge all those in the 12th and Hills Parks and Recreation District to support and promote this observance.
Give me just one moment before you guys will do our women's history. So thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. I've got some things for you. And if you'd like to take a moment after we read our next proclamation, if you would like to take a picture, we'd be happy to do that. But I just didn't want you to leave just quite yet. Okay, so in acknowledgement of Women's History Month, I also have the pleasure of welcoming tonight, and I'm going to do my best. Eugenie Sinsuyun, originally from Cameroon, is a dedicated advocate for immigrant and refugee communities, particularly women in Beaverton and Washington County. She serves as the Small Business Project Manager at Unite Oregon, supporting BIPOC entrepreneurs and child care providers. She also leads the women's chapter of the Cameroonian Association of Oregon and Southwest Washington, fostering a strong support network for Cameroonian women. With expertise in urban planning, project management, and global development, Eugenie is committed to creating spaces where African women can connect, uplift one another, and build resilience. Her work focuses on equity, cultural preservation, and economic empowerment, ensuring immigrant women feel seen, heard, and valued. And we also have Chelsea here, again, Chelsea Huber, who will assist in the reading of the proclamation in American Sign Language. So Eugenie, if you would like to stay where you are, that's fine. We've got a mobile microphone, or you can take the table, whatever you feel comfortable with. Thank you for being here this evening.
Proclamation by the Board of Directors. Whereas the roots of National Women's History Month began in March 1857, when women from various New York City factories staged a protest over working conditions. And whereas women of diverse backgrounds have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless ways. And whereas THPRD exists today because of the pioneering vision and spirit of a female leader, Elsie Stewart, who in 1953 began a 2-year effort that led to the creation of the THPRD. And whereas, because of the persistence and leadership of Elsie Stewart, a physical education teacher, a mother and wife, who served on the THPRD Board of Directors for 18 years and understood the importance of dedicated park and recreation services we all enjoy today. And whereas THPRD has become a nationally accredited, award-winning provider of park and recreation services that employ creative, innovative, and hardworking women that are dedicated to our profession. And whereas many women lead throughout the district, from the board of directors, staff directors, senior managers, and center supervisors, and women are valued, dedicated public servants who make THPRD a better organization. Now, therefore, the Board of Directors of the Tualatin Hills Park and Recreation District does hereby declare the month of March 2025 as National Women's History Month, and do urge all those in the Tualatin Hills Park and Recreation District to support and promote this observance. Signed this day, March 12, 2025. Thank you.
Just do it here, and if I can use one of your devices or our staff, we might, Holly, I don't know if you. Okay. Would you like us with you? We can come with you, or you all want to join? Let's do it. Sweat. You can bring it out here. They can come out. Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick pause and help these folks, and then we'll have some more seats available. Okay? And remember, we do need to share the space, so we're gonna ask folks to be considerate. If you're done speaking, make space for others, because we want to float people in and out. Okay, appreciate everyone's cooperation. Thank you so much.
Sorry. I have a number. I've said it next to these, but I'm done.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I don't think anybody's. I don't know how long ago that.
No, I know.
That's how they were.
Mine was.
Did this free up?
Yeah.
My own started to teach.
Wanted me to ask you because he read. That one. Yeah. I mean, I'm biased. They're pretty awesome. My boys are pretty awesome.
All figuring it out together. Kids, right?
I think it's the 70s. Nothing comes with. I also didn't have to take on my survey. Yeah, I know. I honestly know.
That's about how it works.
Nobody
It's gonna be one thing.
really. After some trauma in their lives, actually. Yeah. It was mainly after the people before.
They all left? Are they left with the group? So we probably have more.
So these 10 kids are gonna come in and sit over there.
Okay.
So come on, kids, you guys go in.
Go to those car seats over there. And how many seats do we have here? Kids, we want the 10 kids who just came in, go sit over there. Sit over there. Go sit over there. Thank you. You want those seats over there? Now we've got one more row of about that.
So do you want to take like 21 or 25?
If you were sitting right there, you can go back. So we got to clear the exit row. And I gotta tell you, you kids, you listen better than my own. I'm gonna go back.
We offer high shoes.
Yeah, we okay, and we've got seats in this row right here. Yeah, seats right here. Want to follow right there.
We can't go past that.
What happens where they start to.
Right here. Over right here, please.
Like.
Or snack, if you have those snacks and.
Okay, all right, I think we will continue to reconvene. Thank you all for your patience while we did some exiting of folks and. Nope. Is that a bit better? Okay, fantastic.
I can actually hear you.
Bodies take up more of the sound. So here we are. Okay, again, thank you for the patience while we did a little change of scenery there. So we are now moving on to agenda item number 7, which is audience time. For our community members who have signed up for the public comment period, and for those listening online, the public comment period is an essential part of local government meetings. All of us on the board of directors are grateful for your participation and will take your input into consideration. Each person has 3 minutes to speak. This is not a time for dialogue, but rather an opportunity for us to listen. We will ask our general manager to follow up with you as appropriate. I'll just give a couple of highlights, and then I will be passing the mic over to our Director of Communications, Holly Thompson. But I do just want to point out that there is a timed clock that is on the public testimony table. It kind of does a color coding. So it's going to start at green, it'll go to yellow, and then go to red. The timer will also count down. So as stated before, each person does have 3 minutes. And so I'm going to be, thank you for all being here. We've got a lot of folks. We want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to be heard. So I will be cutting you off at the 3-minute mark. And we're going to be using a numbering system tonight. To help us, you've all been given a number, and the request is that we go in numerical order. And so as we can move through as quickly as possible. So we'll begin with those with item numbers 1 through 5. But before we do that, I would like to pass the mic and welcome Holly Thompson as well.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Holly Thompson, Communications Director here, and I'm going to ask for everyone's assistance tonight, okay? Public speaking is not everyone's jam. It's not easy. Some people are nervous, and it's hard. So we're going to do everything we can in this room to make it welcoming and to make it peaceful for folks. I want to emphasize what our board president said. We care about your perspective. We want to listen to what you have to say, but I also want to honor and acknowledge there might be people in this room who have a different perspective than you, right? And so we're not going to do those tribal things. We're not going to clap after people's comments. We're not going to cheer. We are not going to make vocalizations of disagreement or agreement. We're going to keep it moving, and we're going to be respectful. And we're going to remember when our national politics have gone, I don't know what to say except zany, that for these kids and for all of this in this room, in Beaverton, Oregon, we can have civil public discourse. We can remember reasonable minds can disagree, and we can be kind and respectful to someone sitting next to us who might have a different perspective than our own, okay? So we want to keep it tight. We want to keep it quick. We're going to ask you to stick to 3 minutes, and we're going to ask you to please help us with those social things to make it move faster and make it more comfortable for everyone to share their perspectives. If you are disruptive, I might come up and have a little conversation with you, okay? So please keep it respectful and be kind to each other, okay? And then do remember, we've got people waiting out in the hall. So if you are done speaking, if you would be kind enough to give up your seat so we can allow others in, we'd appreciate it. And I've been told the audio in the hallway is excellent, and if we're talking into the mic, you can hear it well. So when you get called by your number, you're going to go 1 and 2 up to that testimony table. 3 and 4, please be ready. You're going to get called up next. Make sure you're talking close to the mic like I am. Make sure the button is green, and we're going to try to get through it and get everyone to talk.
Before we start?
Sure. Okay.
So I just wanted to say a few comments before we start that because I believe most of everyone here is for testimony. Okay. Sorry, we don't usually use these, but I know a lot of you guys and out there, thank you everybody for coming. I think most everyone here is to discuss regarding swim affiliation. And so I just really want to start by thanking everyone for taking the time to come out tonight. I know the effort is a lot, and I know everybody's time is valuable. So as a board, we are all really appreciative. We're always appreciative when people come to testify. Due to the subject, though, before we get started, just for public transparency, I wanted to let everyone know kind of my history. with all of this. And so I know some people may not know, or some people will not know, but I'd like it to go on public. But so I grew up in Beaverton myself. I am a product of Beaverton School District. I did THPRD. I have a family here now with 3 kids. I actually swam with THSC when I was little. My kids did THPRD Splash. My daughter started actually with the Dolphins, and then she moved on to BAC, and my 6-year-old son now also swims at BAC. So I have 2 kids currently at BAC. And I think while the assumption may be that because my family is currently with BAC, that I am on their side, I just want to make it really clear that I've always strived to be very neutral on this subject. So for those of you who don't know, this affiliation process was created recently and before all of this stuff has happened. And the board was very supportive of it because it was something that was done and associated with us, with our staff, with the public and community engagement. And it was done for transparency and structure for all sports and to make sure that everyone knew what it would take to become an affiliation so everyone could have the opportunity. And it wasn't a restrictive thing of if you know, or who you know, but that everybody had that opportunity if they made those requirements. We even tried to remove the bias in that we don't even review or cement affiliations. It's another sport that has no skin in the game that actually helps review those affiliation applications and re-affiliates you every year, right? So it's not each other, but somebody who is non-biased. So I just wanted to be very clear about that and reiterate that I was not part of this process and I've remained neutral and had 0 parts in discussing it with the staff before affiliation was given or not. And I've always stressed to staff that they should never feel pressured just because of what team my family is currently on, because it's just a very minute time and it could change, right? As it's changed before. And so the district and our job is to make sure that swimming is welcoming for everyone. And that has always been our core value. Swimming, I think, is like, well, maybe besides running away from like a lion, but swimming is like a life-saving sport, right? Like it's one of the only sports that is legitimately life-saving and will save a person's life. So our value as a district and the purpose, I think, of every swim team's value is to expand swimming and make sure it's welcoming so that people come and people learn and people feel safe doing it so that they are given the tools to save their life and further that love for other people. So I just want to make it very clear and to clear up some concerns. I know it won't do it tonight, but that has always been my position and my stance. And so I just want to welcome everyone tonight and hope that clears that up for you guys. And we are all here and ready to listen to you guys. And thank you again for coming. We do really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Director Payne. Okay, so with that, I will remind again, if I could have presenters number 1 and 2 come up to our public testimony, and if presenters 3 and 4 could be standing by. And again, you will have the 3-minute timer, and I will interject when the timer does go off. Yes, and thank you for the reminder. If each presenter, if you could also please state your first name and your last name and your zip code, then we can record that into the record. So before you begin, if you could just state your name and your zip code, and then we'll start your timer. It should turn, you might need to bring it closer.
Really close.
Okay.
Short. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
My name is Jane Tran, 97006. I appeared before you last month at the board meeting, so I'm following up because after follow-up with THPRD, that was not particularly responsive. Okay, so since last month, I collected data about our demographics for THSC. And as you can see here, we have Oregon and USA swimming numbers and ethnicity across the top. Across the board, across all ethnic minority groups, THSC had higher diversity in terms of ethnic minorities than Oregon or USA swimming. In fact, 72% of our swimmers are children of color. Okay, looking at it further, we also have children that are gender minorities, including children that are non-binary and children that are sexual minorities. We also, thankfully, have a really strong disability rate, actually 9 times higher than Oregon and USA swimming numbers for disability. So our children have 12.8% of our children are children with documented or undocumented disability. So we have really good representation. In terms of immigrant families, 68.2% of our children live in immigrant families, 16.5% live in multi-generational homes with grandparents, 76.8% live in homes where a language other than English is spoken. 14.3 have a family member that does not speak English well but lives in their home, and we represent over 12 religions. We are a diverse team, and apparently that's one of the core values for THPRD. So let me just put this here somewhere so that you can see that as a Canadian law. THPRD removed 7.16 from its policies and procedures about affiliates back in November 2022. So the provisions about adequate space to add a new affiliate, only add an affiliate if they provide unique services, was no longer in your public policies. However, it was still in your affiliate operational procedure per paperwork signed by Menke and Roca on September 19th of 2023. Now, in October 2023, you changed that process and you took away the fact that a new affiliate had to add something unique. Okay, and the justification for this was to use underutilized pools. Rules changed again, February 11th, 2025, when we were informed that we would have a new affiliate in our home pool displacing our children. So you changed your procedures yet again. So why would THPRD choose to do this? I'm glad Board Director Payne brought that up. There are at least 2 people in THPRD leadership that personally benefit from this change in October 2023, right? And because they have swimmers on the team. One of these people is your board member, okay? And she's had a board swimmer on that team since at least April 19th of 2023. Keep in mind, April 2023 precedes October 2023 when your rules changed without notice. The other is good friends with the new affiliate coach, has a swimmer on the team, and directly was involved in the affiliate process. Okay? These are clear conflicts of interest. You are publicly, 3 of you publicly support a new candidate that has a child yet on another aquatic team that has sought affiliate status in the past. Will you be adding them as an affiliate and displacing our children even further? Once again, our diverse children, right? A valued U.S. spouse. Perhaps you didn't know some of what I shared today. Now
Thank you very much. Your time is
what will you
up.
do? Let me just say one more thing.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that. If we start that, then it's a slippery slope. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Number 2, if you could please state your name and your zip code for the record.
My name is Danielle Jacobson. It's 97225. I am a THSC alumni, parent, and a former Division I college swimmer. I'd like you to look at the kids in the room. I want you to look at their faces, and I want you to tell them that they don't deserve to swim at their home pool anymore. Look at them and tell them that they no longer get to swim with their teammates, their relay mates, their brothers, their sisters, their mentors, and their favorite coaches. Look at them and tell them that they have to swim in a different pool because kids from a new small private club who have a home pool of their own in a private HOA deserve to be there more. This is what is being proposed to us. So if we seem upset tonight, I hope you can understand why. Swimming is not a sport where you dabble. It's a commitment. It's not a sport like baseball or soccer where an affiliate organization has multiple teams under an umbrella who can spread out across several locations. We are one team. Our kids go to meets together, they swim on relays together, they mentor each other. Our coaches coach all different age groups, and you are separating us. This change will be impossible for our coaches, swimmers, and families with multiple swimmers on our team. Families who have changed jobs, come up with carpools, changed schedules, and even moved houses to be able to swim in this pool. Our kids should not be here tonight. They should be at home in bed. They should be doing homework. They should be at the pool practicing. They should be resting for the state meet they're swimming in tomorrow. Several parents aren't here tonight because they're getting ready to set up for that state meet that is happening at our pool tomorrow through Sunday. We hosted the age group version of this state meet a couple weeks ago, and your aquatics manager, Andrew Jackman, touts this as a prestigious revenue-generating aquatic event. That meet takes over 1,000 volunteer hours, and it's our parents who are those volunteers. If you had to pay your staff to run that meet, the meet would be run at a huge loss. Your aquatics manager, Andrew Jackman, is selling THPRD an idea, a pitch that absolutely cannot be accomplished without us. He is selling something that he cannot deliver on. If there was a way to make the Aquatic Center into this fabulous event center with world-class meets, we'd be the first to support it. We would partner with you in that. But what he is not telling you is that you need a huge connected USA Swim Club to host these meets. You need someone with real connections to USA Swimming and World Swimming and the elite coaches around the country, something that Andrew Jackman doesn't have. You are buying what he is selling, And in this, you are losing the stability and legacy and financial support of the one organization that could help you to accomplish your goals. Yesterday, I sat in a meeting with Andrew Jackman and our attorney and THPRD's attorney and our head coach, and I watched and I listened as Andrew Jackman lied to everybody in that call. This speaks to his character, to the
Thank you so
absolute.
much. Your time is up. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If our guests number 3 and number 4 could please come to the table, and then let's have on deck presenters number 5 and 6. A reminder, please state your name and zip code for the record.
My name is Jane May, last name is Zhang. So I have swim in THC. I appreciate you guys have time, sit here, listen to our families and parents and the swimmers here to talk. And I appreciate somebody take notes. That's I really appreciate. Thank you so much. So I'm here I saw the THPRD have the affiliate criteria, policy and procedure. So we need to follow that. What I say is facilitate unique service that the district or existing affiliated club like us, if it does not already provide the service, you can create a new one. But I'm asking why we have not, this is against their policy. So when THPRD add back as affiliate last year, you did not follow your policy. For policy and procedure, you have one, but you did not follow it. If you have, that would not be an affiliate. There are conflicts of interest in that. There are at least 2 people in THPRD. Like last time I asked how many parents from the back, and nobody raised hand, but actually there is some. They did not admit that. Why? Because they know there's interest conflict. This is not only disrupt the swimmers if this happens. I believe this decision could have long-term consequence for the company's reputation. Many years later, people will remember this is very poor decision. You want us to be heard, to feel, to be seen, but you are making a wrong decision. I urge you to reconsider this and listen to us and look how many kids, how many families, even grandmas here, why we are here. Please. I'm done. Thank you.
Hello, Sydney McReynolds. I probably don't need the microphone, but we'll do it anyway. 97229. I have a doctorate in occupational therapy, serving students with disabilities in our local public school system. I have 2 students, see, here we go, swimmers with THSC, and I am a board member of THSC. I wish I had collaborated with my colleagues because they're echoing sentiments that I would have shared with you today, and I will cut my statement short to finish Danielle Jacobson's statement. During this last mid-year budget meeting, I testified about the inequities and displacement of THSC at the 50-meter pool. While it is still the case today, I would like to explain to you why there's so much confusion about why this is happening, and especially considering our historic unfilled requests for additional time and lane allocation. You see, lane allocation occurs through a documented set of rules and procedures. Affiliate 3.01.10 as part of your operational policies and procedures policy signed by Doug Menke and Juliet Roca. On September 19th, 2023, I have copies here for you. Andrew Jackman never seems to have it around when he needs to talk about this policy or follow through with it. I will summarize. Ensure that publicly funded facilities are being used for the benefit of district residents and not for personal gain. Doesn't seem like that's the case, as we had to wait until today to get testimony from one of our board members. And Andrew is online today instead of being in person to be here with our team. Your competitive affiliates need to provide a service of sports progression higher level than the district would otherwise provide. I want to let you know today that the people in this room are part of teams that got #1 in the 11 to 14 boys and girls state just 2 weeks ago. Additionally, we have 2 swimmers, Tiachak Prakani and Luca Ignatescu, who are nominated for the #1 swimmers of Oregon through the Oregonian and Oregon Live. You request that we be proactive with our concerns. Here we are, screaming from the rooftops. This is not right. You are harming our team for in-district tax-paying members. Do you know who you are anymore? Are you Forest Grove at the Beaverton Pool, Lake Oswego at Conestoga, or Beaverton everywhere else? We know who we are. Doug Mensky, please make this right. Overhaul your aquatics department and realign your staff. I continue with Danielle's statement. In regards to having connections to the World Swimming and the elite club coaches around the country, something Andrew Jackman does not have, but something that we do. You are buying what he is selling at the expense of the stability, legacy, and financial support of our organization that could actually help you to accomplish your goals. Yesterday, Danielle sat at a meeting with representatives from THPRD attorneys, and they watched him live. Sorry, we already said that part. We're getting, okay. For those of you who have been around through THPRD, through ups and downs and years of service with the community, I ask you to take a deeper look at what you're doing and ask yourself if it is the right thing to do.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I have 4 seconds left.
The clocks, I do just want to be responsible. They're the same. Okay, fantastic. Okay, if presenters number 5 and 6 could please come to the table, fantastic. And again, please state your name and zip code for the record. And then presenters number 7 and 8, you will be next up.
Hi, my name is Brad Fisher. I'm a voter and 97229. My son Darren has finally found his place in the pool with his THSC teammates. Swimming has become a deeply meaningful part of his life, and he has made great friends with his fellow teammates and even some of his best friends he'll likely have throughout life. His friends come from diverse backgrounds: Ecuadorian, Romanian, Vietnamese, Canadian. They're mostly first-generation Americans and have very varying values, religions, which my son is learning about. His main interaction with friends happens at the pool. Unfortunately, since his friends attend different schools throughout the Beaverton School District, their paths might not have ever crossed had it not been for THSC. Reducing access to the 50-meter pool will split up friend groups. Displacing kids to different pools also makes it difficult on my family. So you're directly affecting me. As you can imagine, balancing a professional job with my family life can be difficult. We chose THSC because of the proximity to our home pool, access to the 50-meter pool, which has been a key factor in making swimming possible for us. Potential changes within this place strain our family and make the decision difficult. On a personal note, I feel like if one of the board members has to say that they have, I'm not sure what your name is, lady, but if you have to identify that you have swimmers on another group, to me, if there's even a sense of a conflict of interest, if there wasn't a sense of conflict of interest, you wouldn't have said anything. Also, I'd like to point out that Andrew, who's sitting up there online, who didn't bother to show up for the meeting, isn't even showing his camera. I feel that's particularly weak. I feel like it's rude and disrespectful to the many people that are right here, giving our time to talk to you guys and to talk to him when he's apparently a pretty key contributor to this decision. So I'd like to urge him to turn his camera on. I feel that that's disrespectful to us.
He's actually, that's a staff directive.
Please state your name and your zip code, please.
Hi, my name is Jerome Ducanois, and zip code is 97209. I'm a member of THSC board, a parent of a senior graduating this year. I have a background in international banking. I'm a former NCAA 1 swimmer, and I'm still a master swimmer to this day. I come here today specifically to address the current state of relationship between THSC and THPRD, which has over time become more of a tenant-landlord relationship than a community partnership. You've heard a lot of personal and emotional testimony here tonight. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to throw numbers out at you, okay? First number is $8.5 million. That's the amount of dollars that our team needs, our team generates for the local economy. I've reached out to all of the travel coordinators from all of the teams that come throughout the year here. We host on average 7 to 10 meets a year. And I've got this information from teams that come from as far as California, Idaho, Hawaii, Arizona, Washington State. $8.5 million is a significant amount of money to be contributing to the local economy, restaurants, hotels, vendors, etc. Next number I want to throw at you is 1,062. That's the number of volunteer hours that the THSC members and families are going to be throwing this coming weekend for the OSI state meet. Next number is 450. Those are the number of gifts that THSC raised for the toy drive this year. Again, benefiting the community. 313. This is the number of swimmers that our club has that are going to be displaced by this lane arrangement. 68. That's the number of years that this club has been in existence. In that time, and it's our legacy. That's what makes this club special. We've had Olympic qualifiers. We've had Olympic swimmers. We've had Olympic gold medal winners. We have world record setting swimmers. 15% is the number of is the percentage increase THPRD has charged our club, increased number of percentage increase for our rates to rent full time with you guys. Not commensurate with any inflation number out there. And finally, 0, which is the amount of trust you have instilled in our club in dealing with you guys. Thank you very much.
Presenters numbers 7 and 8, if you could please come to the table. And we will move along with presenters number 9 and 10. You will be on deck. And next up, 7 and 8, if you could please state your name and zip code, please.
Izzy Kish, 97140. I'm a swimmer at Walton Hills. I love it here. Everyone is so nice. I am on the boat squad and there are around 30 kids in my group. We practice in the afternoons and have 4 lanes. My coach puts boys on one side and girls on the other side. Usually we have around 8 kids in each lane at practice. With the other team joining in our pool space, my group would have a shortage of lanes. Even if the other team has practices in the morning, then maybe all the morning swimmers on my team would not have space and they would have to practice in the afternoon. There are lots of us on our team. Our pool is so good that the other team will like it so much that after a long course, they might not leave. Having to be cramped every day is not good. Would you like to be cramped or maybe not have as many days to practice as a swimmer? Swimmers need lots of practice to get better. I would one day love to go to the Olympics and swim in college. If I'm not able to have enough practice. I don't know if those things would happen. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to please refrain from the clapping. I know it's sweet, and I know we're passionate, and I know we care, but we gotta keep it moving, please. Thank you.
My name is Kelly Kish. My zip code is also 97140. Good evening, members of the board. I'm here tonight as a member of the Walton Hills Swim Club, a team that has been a dedicated partner of THPRD for decades. In November 2024, we made the difficult decision to leave our smaller swim club and to join THSC. There are many reasons for this: limited opportunities for our daughter, board issues, and favoritism. But ultimately, we wanted a team that could offer her a better future in swimming. Both my husband and I grew up in the metro area. His dad taught him to swim at the Harmon Pool, and he grew up immersed in the swimming world, always aware of THSC's success and stellar reputation. As a kid, I participated in soccer and basketball. Those events were hosted by THPRD, and I was always in awe of the facilities. So when it came time to find a new swim club for our daughter, There was only one choice, and that was THSC. Since joining, we have been absolutely blown away by the openness, kindness, inclusivity, and opportunities that THSC provides. Even though we've only been here a few short months, we already feel like we've been part of this team forever. That's why the decision to approve another swim team under THPRD's affiliate program and take lane space away from THSC is devastating. And worse, it directly contradicts THPRD's own policies. THPRD's sports facility use application process is clear. New affiliates should only be added if there's capacity to support them. Our pool is already full. Dive Club, Synchronized Club, Barracudas, Dolphin Hills, Water Polo. Time and time again, THSC has been denied additional lanes and time, yet now we're expected to give them up willingly. This is even acknowledged by members of this board. During a March 9th, 2022 board meeting, then President Tia Pang asked the affiliate review stakeholders work group, how could a new group be granted affiliate status if the district is already at capacity? What evaluation is conducted when a new group wants to become affiliated for a service that's already being provided by current affiliates? She stated that if everyone is granted affiliate status, eventually there isn't enough capacity for any of them to operate their clubs effectively. He also asked, will current affiliates be grandfathered in? How will the review committee determine with whom to affiliate if more groups apply than for which we have capacity? THPRD's own response at that time was clear. If the district was at capacity, or if the new affiliate provided the same services, they would not be approved. They also stated that all groups would have equal opportunity to apply and that affiliation would be based on capacity. But that's not what happened here. BAC was approved despite the pool being at capacity. THPRD is choosing to take lanes away from existing long-term affiliate that has been requesting additional space for years to benefit the new one that should not have been approved based on THPRD's own policies. There are also serious concerns about fairness and transparency, especially given the conflicts of interest involved. As noted previously, THPRD board member Tia Ping has a son on BAC, and we've also found out that another BAC parent has overseen the affiliation application process. If these roles were reversed, would THPRD allow THSC parents in these positions to push decisions that take resources away from BAC? This is unacceptable conflict of interest. Thank you.
Thank you. Presenters 9 and 10, welcome to the table. And if presenters 11 and 12 could be ready next.
Hi, I'm Doug Sheedy, 97229. We're back at. My family, my wife and I, we've lived in the district for about 20 years, a little bit more than that. Since my 17-year-old and 14-year-old, well, actually right before they could walk, we started with the THPRD classes and whatnot. So we've certainly been around for a while with there. Dolphin Hills Parks and Rec has always kind of championed a community and connection that I personally have an affinity for. I think that's something that I've found within BAC and within the broader Oregon swimming community. My older son, like a lot of kids, struggles a lot with interpersonal connectivity, social anxiety, etc. And the ability to be part of a swim team that provides a strong, positive, nurturing environment where where you can grow both physically, but probably more importantly, socially and emotionally, it has just been a lifesaver for us. My younger son, completely different kid altogether, but has benefited just the same. For him, there's certainly team pride and whatnot, but it goes so far beyond that. I mean, every day at school is a table full of kids that swim at different clubs. High schools are comprised of swimmers from different clubs and vice versa. Oregon select teams are pulled from all the different teams around the state where they get to swim for Team Oregon multiple times throughout the year. I think that breadth of connection and community that he's gotten to experience have been bar none. I also was fortunate enough to compete in athletics at a Division I level, not swimming. I'm not water safe. But in my time doing that, in my time coaching high school football, coaching flag football, coaching basketball, coaching soccer, I've never witnessed, and I certainly was never able to create the kind of community and connection that I've seen with swimming, both within BAC and again throughout the broader Oregon swimming community. It's fun for me to go to meets because I get to cheer, not just for my kids, not just for the kids on the back team, but there's been so many connections with kids from the other teams that I get a chance to cheer for kids on different squads. It's different than the paradigm I grew up with in a way that I wouldn't have considered was possible because of my development in athletics. But it's as a parent been absolutely fantastic. So I just wanted to express my appreciation for the affiliate status. I understand it's under some duress, but it's been something that the idea of prolonged opportunity is very heartwarming. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Valentina Kelly and my zip code is 97115. I live in Dundee and I choose to be with the TSSC. We drove 2 hours every day because we love this team. And then after we found this is our family. My daughter love it and I don't mind to drive when she can improve her swimming. So I'll make it short. I have a lot of questions on this one. So we all come here tonight just to ask your kindness to rethink, review, and reevaluate about bringing another affiliate swim club to our home pool, which is the 50-meter pool. Because again, we are so confused, lost, and hurt, and have a lot of questions. Why? Like why THPRD treat our club such in this unfortunate decision? They're not even willing to delay the decision and more support to the other team, which has more power in the THPRD board. But is this fair though to THSC, who has been affiliate for almost 70 years? What went wrong with this relationship? Why never have any discussion before from THPRD with THSC about another swim club will use the pool space in a 50-meter pool, like at least tell us in the beginning of the year, like last September. Why you all just notified us like a month ago? Well, you all know all along that Black is coming to our 50-meter pool in April 2025 for long course. Why there is no words or discussion beforehand from THPRD or Black on this matter to show good intention with each other? So please consider it to delay decision and give us time to process on these changes and do the best for our swimmers, right? Because Black parents doing this for their swimmers too. We want all the best for our swimmers. So that's the reason why this is happening. So please, I ask kindly, parent to parent, to please have a heart to delay the decision so we all can prepare and have better plans to our swimmer and support all our kids to success. That's what we're here for, right? Thank you.
Okay, presenters 11 and 12. Next up and on deck 13 and 14.
Hi. Too loud, right loud. Okay. I'm Sharon Zell, 97229. I'm going to be a breath of fresh air here, folks. I am a board member and parent of a diver who has been with the THDC for 2 years, and I'm here to bring you a bit of history about Tualatin Hills Dive Club and the creation of the dryland facility that is so important to our practice and is used by the other affiliates. The first full-time coach of THDC, along with parents and board members at the time, were responsible for the dryland training facility. The coach at the time, Coach Moberg, and board member Mike Jackson oversaw the design, development, and construction of the $500,000 project. Dryland was paid for primarily by THDC through fundraising, a grant from the Oregon Sports Trust, and a loan that was then paid back by THDC, as well as smaller contributions from other affiliate groups, including Synchro, THSC, Water Polo, and the Barracudas. After the completion of the building, THPRD agreed to own, operate, and maintain the facility. To this day, our dryland is one of the finest indoor dryland training facilities on the West Coast.
Dryland is essential to our diving program and as well as the swim clubs. And the dryland space allows athletes to get more repetitions and focused practice than water-only practice. Trampolines and belts and other equipment help athletes learn new skills that transfer to the water. Dryland is available when pool time is limited due to other affiliates using the pool for meets, etc. Swim teams, and I might note that there is nowhere else for our team to practice. There is one tower in the state of Oregon, and it is at our pool. Swim teams use the weight room for additional practice and cannot become competitive, high-performing swimmers and divers without access to this type of facility, which the dive team created. The space is shared among the affiliates that contributed to building it and utilize it to maximum capacity. THDC is currently struggling despite a board that has made significant improvements to the program and its stability after the challenges of COVID. Pool fees have increased for THDC by over 60% in the past year, and in just one quarter increased 30%. Fees are so high for us that the sport is nearly out of reach for all but the most affluent families. And these fees do not take into account the necessity of travel for competitive divers, as there is no other pool that we can dive in that is not where we do not travel. Finally, we've heard rumors that THPRD is considering charging for time in the dryland facility. We strongly oppose this measure. Thank you.
I'm Scarlett Willie, 97223, and I'm a swimmer with the Tualatin Hills Swim Club. I'm here today to share how losing lane space at this pool would impact us. For many of us, this pool isn't just where we swim, it's where we've grown over the years, both as athletes and as people. Our team has helped us build confidence, discipline, and a strong sense of community. This pool has truly become a second home, and it means so much to us. I also wanted to mention my little brother, Miles, who's just 8 years old. He joined swimming a few months ago, and he absolutely loves it. It would be really tough for him to practice at a different pool, especially since he's just starting and really enjoying the team. My parents work really hard to support our club, and it would be a huge challenge for them to drive to 2 different pools or deal with completely different practice hours. Losing lane space would make it even harder for all of us to continue growing as a team, and it would be especially tough for younger swimmers like my brother, who are just beginning to find their passion. I really hope you'll consider how important this pool is to us and how much it means to have enough space to keep improving. Thank you for your time.
And 14 to the table, please. And 15 and 16, you're up next.
Leslie Cox, 97006. I'm speaking on behalf of Tualatin Hills Barracuda's master swim team. We are a steady growing adult swim team with 107 current members. I am both head coach, a swimmer, and 2024 3-time national champion. The spring allotment process and summer, which includes long course, is very important to our athletes. Our open water swimmers train long course, some of whom have already signed up for events like the Portland Bridge Swim, which will serve as the USMS Open Water National Championship this year, right here in Portland. Our 2025 Long Course Nationals is also on the West Coast this year in Federal Way. We're the #1 masters team in Oregon, and diverse training contributes to our national presence. We do expect a shift in collaboration as the pool is switched to long course. We need an adequate number of lanes to support the diversity of our swimmers. Our ability levels are so diverse that if we have inadequate lanes for appropriate send-off time, it's like throwing a handful of 8-year-olds into a senior national level practice. It becomes chaotic, it is unsafe, it's difficult to lifeguard, and creates an inadequate workout situation, and people just leave. We were prepared to collaborate with other affiliates about sharing the long course lanes at the March 3rd allotment meeting set up by THPRD. We were told that it was mandatory and sent 3 representatives. 1 hour before the meeting, we received an email that stated that long course allotment would not be up for discussion at the allotment meeting. I asked when the long course allotment discussion would take place, and I was told that it would not.
We were not allowed to collaborate with other affiliates on how to share the pool. This was a shocking change in the allotment process and was poorly communicated. THPRD's mission and vision uphold diversity and enhancing a healthy and active lifestyle. Master Swimming embodies this vision. I was fortunate enough to grow up swimming on a club team in high school that shared a pool with a successful Masters team. I saw women come back to swimming after mastectomies. I saw women come back to swimming after childbirth. I saw grandparents choose swimming. And as a 17-year-old kid, and probably the one thing that we can agree on is a highly taxing mental and physical sport, I saw a diverse variety of abilities, backgrounds, body types choose to be active members in their community. And that had an impact on me for 25 years. Barracudas provides a lifelong partnership with this community as a visible commitment at that big pool to health and fitness for all for life. And we don't take that lightly.
My name is Megan Rahmani, 97007. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the board this evening. I want to talk briefly about what the BAC team has meant to my family and how I think the values of our team align very nicely with the values of THPRD. First, I want to talk to you about my older son, Leo. He's currently a senior here in the Beaverton School District. He was a competitive gymnast and a rec swimmer when he was younger. And a few years before COVID, we had to make a really difficult decision to pull him out of his gymnastics program because there were some coaching and the competition environment had become damaging to his well-being. And to be honest, it left him kind of broken and without a purpose. Then we went into COVID. And as the lockdowns were easing, we were looking for something to help fill in for physical activity for both of our boys. And a friend had recommended BAC to us. He only swam for BAC for a few seasons, but the time he had with the coaches at BAC reignited his love for athletics. And they encouraged him to follow his passion, which was outside of swimming. And he is now a really successful Olympic weightlifter. But even to this day, he continues to check in with his coaches at BAC. He will stop in at practice and talk to them and tell them, and they are eager to hear how he's doing. Additionally, he became a lifeguard who has worked at THPRD, and he is currently preparing for his second year of coaching at our local HOA swim team in Murray Hill. So that positive and supportive environment at BAC allowed him to heal and grow from some trauma and still remain connected to swimming, even though he's moved on. My younger son, Eli, has a somewhat similar story. He had been a rec swimmer in our neighborhood as well, but we had to take a break for many years because Eli was dealing with some pretty significant anxiety issues in a competitive environment. So we took a step back. And then again, COVID hit. So we were trying to find something to fill a gap. And he decided to start swimming again when he heard his brother was going to swim. And he started with zero expectations. I mean, he was only swimming a handful of days a week. And after a short time, he made great connections. He is what I would call a hyper-competitive swimmer these days. And he has built a bond, not only with the swimmers on his team, but swimmers from different high school teams and different club teams. I'm going to echo what Doug said. This environment of Oregon swimming is one of the most supportive sports environments that I have ever seen as a parent. Thank you.
15 and 16 is up next. And on deck will be 17 and 18. Board President, members of the board, sorry, could you please state your name and your
Sarah Stolova. I was following the rules on the back of the form. Sorry. Sarah Stolova, 97229.
Fantastic.
All right, members of the board, thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm here to request that the decision to allow another affiliate to take 50-meter pool lane space be reversed. I was a member on the affiliate work group, and we gathered over many, many months to figure out how best to deal with crowded fields and pools and things like that. And lots of decisions were really hard, but I can tell you this is not what was presented. When everything came to an end and THPRD with Julie Rocha and Jeffrey presented to the board at the time, what is happening now is not what was presented, and it's not what was put into finality. So in effect, THPRD is not following its own affiliate policy. In the sports facility and use application process on page 3, it states THPRD will only accept affiliates if it has the capacity to support additional users. If taking away lane space from other affiliates that exist in order to make room for a new affiliate, that happens, that means that there is no space. So if we're at capacity and you're taking away space from existing affiliates, I just don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe other pools within THPRD have space. And if that's the case, perhaps the new affiliates go to those pools that are not being used. However, displacing existing affiliates is simply unfair. There's also on page 6, THPRD says if there are multiple applicants within the same sport and limited capacity, key being limited capacity, we will show preference toward the organization serving the most in-district patrons. Our swim club has many, many more in-district swimmers than the other new affiliate. So just based on those two things alone, I just don't understand the decision. We love all the other swim teams. We have good friends. Our swimmers have friends on those swim teams, so this is not a personal thing with any with the clubs themselves. We understand that they want this opportunity. We get it. However, it is just simply going against the THPRD policy. Thank you.
I have to hold it. Okay. Hi, good evening. My name is Michael Johnson, a voting resident of 97008, and I am here to voice my concern about the recent process to allow for an additional affiliate swim club at the THPRD Aquatic Center. When I first heard about another swim club joining the THPRD Aquatic Center, I assumed that the decision must have been well planned and mutually agreed to in the spirit of sharing a best-in-class facility as well as maintaining existing lane space for the athletes. It became apparent that this was not the case. New aquatics management at THPRD submitted an offer to THSC that would ultimately reduce and limit overall lane capacity during a time the club is looking to expand. Many athletes will be limited and their continued advancement impacted, my son included. My initial research for affiliate information on the THPRD website led to what is still today currently publicly accessible. And as far as I'm aware, still the THSC affiliate documented affiliate agreement of dated September 2023. This on the THPRD website is listed as affiliate policy chapter 7.16, section B, line 4, in regards to the new affiliates must, and I quote, facilitate unique services that the district or an existing affiliated club or organization does not already provide. This single section of the policy regarding affiliates that had been in place since 2008 and 9 was deleted in October.
Try it back up.
It's all right. This policy was deleted in October of 2023. Both old and new policies are still posted. I'm concerned that a director on the THPRD board with children that are members of this new affiliate was a leading proponent of eliminating the policy line that had been in place since 2009. In 2024, Director also recommended the board explore adding additional affiliates for meeting notes. The board reserves feedback on if this conflict of interest was disclosed previously and if they were involved in removing the competitive affiliate policy in 2023 for the purpose of benefiting their own affiliate club. THPRD board oversees what is a general fund of over $108 million and is publicly elected. With this public responsibility, I would hope that an elected board makes decisions free of any conflicts of interest, are transparent and honest, and that the board considers what the impact this sudden change means for THPRD's oldest and long-standing swim club affiliate, and issues a stay in this decision for further collaborative review. Please remember that THSC founder Rod Harmon was a leading inspiration behind the idea of the 50-meter competition pool at the THPRD Aquatic Center. Thank you for your time.
18 and 18, you're up next. And on deck will be 19 and 20.
Good evening, members of the board and community. My name is Sharmila Rao, 97229, and I represent the Beaverton Area Aquatics Club. Small and mighty, back. And thank you for the opportunity to speak today. BAC was founded by parents and coaches in 2020 during pandemic, when no other opportunities were available. Our goal was simple: to inspire youth swimmers to reach their full potential through discipline, self-motivation, and hard work. So you can see that in the heart of our club is rooted inclusivity, offering every youth swimmer the chance to join a team, receive top quality coaching, and achieve their highest potential, free of favoritism and discrimination. In July 2024, we proudly earned the affiliate status with THPRD, and we are so incredibly grateful for that opportunity to serve our community in partnership with you. I'm here today to emphasize how vital our affiliate status with THPRD is and why we need this continued access to space. The one word that comes to mind in this day and age of inequity and discrimination is access. Access means opportunity. Access means continuity and consistency, which is important for all our swimmers' success. Since 2020, BAC has grown over 50% in its membership, a testament to the strength of our coaching staff, our amazing board. I'm a new member of the board, effective yesterday. Our parent community, and most importantly, our athletes. However, with growth comes challenge, and we are reaching the limits of our current pool. So all we are looking for is a backup pool access. And if we don't have that continuity and consistency, training disruptions can occur. And you know, with all our kids, if there is no continuity, it affects endurance, technique, motivation, and confidence. As a proud BAC parent of 3 boys, 2 currently swimmers, and one very eager to join, I understand firsthand how crucial access is. It took me 3 years to find a swim club, and 3 years of lost opportunities, growth, and progress. I'm deeply passionate about access. In my own career, I create life-changing medicines like cancer drugs, Alzheimer's, and the biggest fight we fight every day is to make sure that medicines reach every person, every corner of the world. And this is not any different. Access has to be available to every member of our larger community. At BAC, we believe every child deserves the chance to swim and succeed in a supporting environment. So thank you for your time and consideration. I leave you with this. Let's focus in bringing access to our community. Thank you. Board members and
Board President and members of the board. For the record, my name is Shreya Datta and my zip code is 97229. I'm here today to thank THPRD for recognizing our swim club, Beaverton Area Aquatic Club, aka BAC, as a part of the THPRD affiliate program. As I stand before you, I'm reminded of my own journey. Growing up in a small university town in India, I did not have access to the same sports infrastructure that we often take for granted here. There was only one swimming pool in the town, shared by the students and the community kids alike. As a result, I never learned to swim properly and still get nervous around water sports. But life took me to the United States, where I pursued higher studies at Purdue University, Indiana, also home to some of the elite swimmers of the country. It was eye-opening to see how sports was woven into the fabric of American life, especially young children. I wanted my own child to also have those opportunities. My daughter's love for water was apparent from an early age. In fact, she got her first baby and mini swim lessons at THPRD. But when the pandemic hit, it became tough to find stable swim lessons anywhere in the town. That's when, through word of mouth, we discovered BAC. BAC has been a game changer for my child. Not only she learned swimming, she has also developed valuable life skills like teamwork, discipline, and resilience. Overall, we noticed a boost in her mental and physical health. The coaches and the parent community have been incredibly supportive, making BAC feel like a second family. The community is very inclusive, and everyone we know is ready to help at a moment's notice. Be it picking up your child from the school or practice, driving your child to a meet, or even boarding a pet dog when needed. As a parent, it has been amazing to see my child thrive, and I know we are not alone. Many families in our community have benefited from BAC's program. These remarkable kids understand how crucial every second is and foster community belonging. Which brings me to the recent recognition of BAC to the THPRD affiliate program. This partnership will enable BAC athletes to utilize the state-of-art facilities at the Tualatin Hills Aquatic Center, providing them with even more opportunities to grow and excel. THPRD is known to operate and support high-quality sports programs at various facilities around the Beaverton metro area. And going forward, it will become our everyday life. Once again, on behalf of the entire BAC community and my family, I would like to thank THPRD for to honor our club and with this recognition.
Guests number 19 and 20, you're up next. And standing by will be presenters 21 and 22.
My name is Ken Lee. I'm a THSC board member, parent, and the father of 3 children. Yesterday, we received from Andrew Jackman the latest long course lane allocation proposal. We were told that we cannot reduce the overall long course program time given to the new affiliate BAC or masters or the public below the amount you listed on your document. However, it seems to be okay to reduce lane space to the Tualatin Hills Swim Club. We told you the math didn't work for us. You didn't care. We even showed you the math didn't work. Still, you didn't care. You pretended to show empathy for our swimmers. You didn't care. This decision will displace about 60 of our swimmers from their regular morning practice at the 50-meter pool. 60. That's a lot of kids. With very little notice, this decision will force families to pivot and change their schedules that they set at the beginning of the school year. We have swimmers who after practice have to get home, get ready for school. Many of these swimmers have to take a bus to get to school because their parents have already gone to work, and this is their only option to get to school. I know this because I was one of those parents when my kids were younger. Displacing these swimmers to other THPRD pools seems like a fine idea on surface, but these will lead to longer commutes to get home, to get ready for school and catch their bus. And this displacement causes busy parents to extend their morning, and some will just not accept it. This will result in some of our middle school and high school kids having to quit swimming since they do not have a choice. And this could have been my family if this decision was made a few years ago, because I had a 14-year-old that was an 8th grader at Westview High School who took the bus actually from the pool behind Fred Meyer to Westview High School every morning after practice. If that happened to me at that time, I would have been devastated, and I'm sure there's going to be families like that in our club if this decision is allowed to continue to happen. While THPRD tells us they followed equitable practices in adding a new affiliate, our club is now looking at options to help these displaced kids because of your equitable practices. You don't want them to quit school. I don't think you want them to quit school either. I just didn't think you guys thought about what the outcome of this was going to be. This is harming our club to what benefit? Why would you add an affiliate to an oversubscribed 50-meter pool? What is your definition of equity again? Because this is not an unintended consequence at this point. You now know, and you have a chance to correct this. And if you don't, this decision has become very intentional, with no regard to the harm you are causing, and we will continue to let you know about it.
Thank you so much. Presenter number 20.
Hi, good evening, Jonathan Wildy in district.
Please state your zip code.
Yeah, 97225.
Thank you so much.
I don't have much, if any, of the background on this, how we got here, and I'm not entrenched in all the details. What my daughter and I do is swim. I swim for the Tualatin Hills Barracudas, and Stella swims for the Tualatin Hills Thunderbolts. I joined the Barracudas in 2019. Before that, I was swimming at Villa, very small group, and I was honestly intimidated to make the jump. I'd heard great things about the Barracudas, but I finally made the leap, and I've been thankful ever since. Getting to swim with folks from their 20s to 80s, people with different goals, people with different perspectives, people with different experiences. It's all been amazing and enriching for me. The team's also great. We won state, something the Barracudas are proud of, and an amazing way to represent THPRD. But more than our speed, I cherish our amazing community. It's been around for decades, and I would be honored to protect it and keep our collective flame burning. Our Masters team also needs 50-meter space, has nationally ranked athletes, and I need to do okay at the Birch Swim this year, so that would be great. I'm also a parent of a young swimmer. It's incredible to watch what she gets from this team. The chance to work hard at something, to show commitment and dedication, to compete, the opportunity to both succeed and also to fail in a safe place. It's worth fighting for. Seeing my daughter proud of herself is the best feeling I've had as a parent. The Tualatin Hills Thunderbolts are the best team in the state, and I see a future where THPRD and the Tualatin Hills Thunderbolts and the Tualatin Hills Barracudas can trust each other, work with each other, and mutually promote each other. I see a future where we can live symbiotically. I think my daughter wants to say one or two things.
I would like to say some words about my experience at the THSC Thunderbolts. At the THSC Thunderbolts. When I was younger, I felt really scared to compete, and I didn't feel like I should. I felt like I wasn't good enough, and I didn't feel like I could. But when I went to the Tualatin Hills Thunderbolts, I felt very welcomed, and I felt like I could compete and fail and do really good, and I felt really good about myself. It makes me feel welcome, and it makes me feel like family. There's a lot of friends on the team that I could not stand leaving, and that's why I just really want to keep our team together, and I think it would be really helpful to not separate our team and have those people.
Thank you. Okay, numbers 21 and 22. Thank you for coming up to the table.
Are we going to do the switch that we talked about?
At 25, shortly.
Okay.
And then presenters 23 and 24, you will be up next.
Hello, members of the board. I'm Nate Mosier, zip code 97225. I'm a swimmer on the national squad and have been on this team for 5 years. This problem is a lot greater than lane allocation, but the safety of our team. Before swimming on THSC, I swam at Villa Sports Swim Club for 3 years, where Coach Andrew Reynolds, the current head coach of Beaverton Area Aquatic Club, coached me and other teammates who I now swim with. Myself and others feel as though he jeopardizes the fundamental values that the THPRD board should enforce and stand for. His presence on the pool deck would make me and others feel unsafe and extremely uncomfortable. His offensive language on multiple occasions, including slurs, has affected my relationship with the sport since I was coached at such a developmental age. I'm up here representing a group of swimmers, some of whom are afraid to testify today as a result of their experience being coached by Andrew. If BAC is allocated lane space, we run the risk of inflicting this damage on many other young swimmers on both BAC and THSC. Because this team has been one of the most important parts of my life over the past 5 years, I would like to see it continue to grow and succeed. Myself and others feel that having Coach Andrew on the pool deck would greatly hinder its capability to do so. Thank you for listening.
Good evening, board members. My name is Janet Barr, 97007. I serve as board president for Beaverton Area Aquatic Club. So, back. I don't know why it's not working.
It is running out of time.
Yes. Okay. I would like to express my gratitude for the affiliation status with THPRD and take this opportunity to introduce our team a bit to the board. BAC formed in 2020 with a heart and vision to make competitive swimming possible for any youth swimmer. Over the last 4 years, BAC has seen youth swimmers grow in all aspects, developing excellent swimming and excellent character. Team growth has pushed our threshold in our current space, resulting in a need to seek additional pool space to accommodate swimmers. We are so grateful for the opportunity to have access to THPRD pool space to give our kids 50-meter pool practice time, even just a few times during the week, during long course season, and space at Sunset Pool during the summer when our other pool space is primarily allocated to the resident recreational activity. BAC is honored to be affiliated with THPRD and provide patrons additional access to competitive swimming. In this way, we aim to align with THPRD mission statement, which is to provide high-quality programs that meets the needs of the diverse community it serves. Additionally, BAC aligns with the THPRD stated values by giving patrons expanded access to more high-quality USA Swimming competitive team programs that enhance healthy and active lifestyles. Through swimming, we will provide children and family with the tools and training for a healthy lifestyle and lifelong sport, but also potentially life-saving skill, as drowning rates remain a significant concern. BAC strives to create strong and capable swimmers, many of whom give back to the community already through lifeguarding and teaching swim lessons throughout Beaverton. BAC swimmers come from diverse backgrounds, abilities, lifestyles, representing a wide range of cultures and social.
All of them, y'all.
Representing a wide range of cultures and socioeconomic classes. We are an inclusive team that welcomes all swimmers and is committed to personalized instruction, helping each athlete. Right. BAC is committed to offering scholarships to athletes who want to swim and are experiencing financial difficulties. Athletes are encouraged to complete a financial aid application so BAC can assess what aid can be offered. BAC awarded $3,900 in 2023 for swimmers requesting financial assistance. BAC also awards $1,000 annually to a swimmer who meets the criteria for the Candace Leslie Excellence in Character Award. We respect all THPRD programs available and all affiliates. We value the benefit of having a multitude amount of programs available to the patrons so that they can compete at high levels to achieve their highest potential. BAC is just grateful. So thank you very much for the time we have here and the opportunity to speak.
Okay, let's have presenters 23 and 24. And for our guests who might be listening with the microphone, we'll take a pause after presenters 23 and 24 and do a little room change. So thank you for your continued patience and your decorum. Presenters 23 and 24 to the table.
And then 23 and 24 are getting settled for everyone in the room. We're going to ask you after speaker 24 to exit so we can allow the other folks to come in. And we've got an exit plan to have you go out those doors and around while we're welcoming the other folks in. So you'll be exiting out those doors, coming out to this door over here, and other folks are going to come in over here.
My name is Jen Lynn. I reside in zip code 97229. I work as a classified substitute teacher at BFD, and I have 3 children, ages 13, 16, and 20. I currently have 2 THSC swimmers, State 1 and Tag 1, both swimming in the morning, tomorrow at 6, hopefully. Well, in full disclosure, I have a family member who's also a board member. Having been a patron of THPRD for almost 25 years, I really appreciate you all because I know it's a lot to serve on the board, and I do see a lot of fruit from your labor. My main ask is simple. I would like both my children to continue swimming at the 50-meter pool. To do that, THSC needs enough pool allocation, just pragmatically speaking. Just a little bit more about my situation. My oldest started in baby and knee, had THPRD swim lessons and splash until he made it onto the AG1 Gold Squad at THSC. We joined in 2017 when my oldest was 13 years old. During our first year on the team, the aquatic center was closed for renovations. And it was extremely challenging to send him to practice at Aloha Swim Center since we live in North Bethany. Then the squad got displaced to swimming at Oak Hills in the dead of winter due to Westview High School taking over the pool space. But at least it was closer. My 2 little ones stayed at home with Dad while I shuttled them to practice. Fast forward to 2021, when I had 3 swimmers with THSC, all with different schedules. It became a matter of having the stars aligned with pickups and drop-offs, making sure they all had their swim gear and suits, and no one starving to death. I tell you this because I currently have 2 swimmers still, and the madness has not ceased as practice schedules still do not line up. However, it is doable for me because it's in the same location. If my swimmers are at different pools, I just don't know if it's possible. I'd be juggling which kid gets to practice on time or late or rush around town. I know other families are in this situation. There are a lot of families and back-to-back practices. Why are you making it more challenging for us? We're doing our very best to get them there. And I can't say that one child can go swimming and the other cannot. I just can't choose. It's okay. So that being said, I think BAC is a great team. I know people there. But as BAC board member just suggested, continuity and consistency is so important. And I believe that rings true for my kids as well. We've had that established. We were looking forward to this, carrying them all throughout to college.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Calvin Lynn, 97229. I've been a longtime resident. Oregon, I worked at Intel for 25 years, and in district, resident for the last 20 years. I had a speech prepared, which would rehash a lot of the things that you've already said today. I don't think that's going to be very useful. Instead, I have 3 messages to give. The first message is to the Tualatin Hills parents and swimmers that are here. I am so proud and honored to represent you as your president. Your presence here and at the pool makes me so heartened. Thank you so much for all the effort that you put into our team and our kids. My second message is to Fulton Hills board and staff. I challenge you to look beyond the numbers, look beyond the policies, to really look at the kids, not just our kids, but your kids. Right? Inspire us with your vision. Use us as part of your vision. Don't alienate us with your decision that you're making. When you focus too much on the minute details, you lose the big picture. And when you lose the big picture, you lose your way. Inspire us. My last message is to the back parents here and to any other parents of any other swimming community or product community that's here. We have space for you. We have a home for you. Coach Jamil, sorry for calling you out. As an ex-THSC coach, as ex-TSSC swimmers in your family, you will always be a THSC coach and a TSSC swimmer. You will always have a home with our club. Rector Payne, as ex-THSC swimmer, your family is always welcome in our family. You are always welcome to join us. You will always have a place in your home. You are THSC. All you need to ask. I believe that you deserve something.
My wife.
Thank you, board. Thank you, parents. Thank you, community.
Thank you. Okay, with that, I would like folks, if you could, as Holly just mentioned, we'll be exiting out this door over here.
Exit out that door to my friend Angel, my colleague over there. Please exit out those doors. We're going to welcome the others in. We're doing a flip.
Scott, if you could just give us a moment. While we exit our here in the room. We'll be opening the doors in just a moment.
We're taking our picture. We're that way and letting you know.
I know.
I didn't know 60.
That's
Over 60.
I'm
Just 60, because that's like the 6 month they go to like the same.
You are right here.
Yeah.
All right, cameras. The camera's over there. You are there.
Please come in, sit all the way down to the end to make it easy for people to fill in. Please sit all the way down to the end. Please sit all the way down to the end to make it easy for folks to fill in. Please file in, sit all the way down to the end. We want to make space for as many people as we can. If you could, please come in and fill in. Thank you so much. If you want to make space, please don't sit at the end. Please go down. Yes, I got back. We need it.
Why don't you make it? Everyone can check it. Don't sit.
Why don't you?
Turn them off so they wouldn't go down on the.
Yes. Yeah.
She's signed in? Not yet. Hold on. Then she needs to go fill out a comment card. You need to go fill out a comment card. You can't speak without a comment card. Anything? Okay. Go to the table. Can you fill it out? Go to the table, please. Fill out the comment card. Okay, we're closing the doors. Have you been here before? Okay, please come in. Okay, let's. I got my sweatshirt. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna say, yeah.
Okay, let's close it. Have you been in before? Oh. There was somebody, yeah. Okay. I don't know where you went, so. Maybe a comment card? Did he have a? Like, we're done with all speakers. I used to see that from the one person who wants to speak. That was really good. I don't think they're still there. I think this is open. It's all you. Okay, great. One more. I don't know where my that. Oh, I love you.
Thank you so much. Just got it.
Yeah. Oh, they're already very.
You my laptop room there.
You know what? I don't remember who's signing this one for your patients. I needed a bio break there. So I think a lot of you have been waiting out in the lobby. Hopefully you've heard kind of how we're operating. I'll do a few points of order just to welcome you into the space. This is our public testimony table over here. There is a visual clock that goes green, yellow, red. There's also a timer that shows you your 3 minutes. Our ask before you speak is to please state your name and the zip code for the record. And we've had a little bit of some microphone issues with batteries running out. So if that happens, we're doing our best to swap them in and swap them out. I'm wondering, is that? Thank you, fantastic. If it's showing green, it's on. So we might even, well, it's running battery. But anywho's, so what I will do is call out 2 people at a time can come to the table, and then the next 2 will be waiting on deck. So we're going to kick this off again, and I've got presenters number 25 and 26 are on deck. If you could please make your way to the table. And up next, we will have presenters 27 and 28.
By 97229. I have 2 swimmer on Thunderbolt, and I hear dreams and stories from that parent. Thunderbolt, we also have our swimmer and also have dreams and goal for our swimmer and for us. Please don't take that away from us. We're not, we respect their goals and their dreams. But in spite of that, please don't take it from us. I'd like the staff here to take a look at our diverse movement. This is bigger than, please take a look at them. They're supposed to be at home doing homework, but they're here. Please take a look. So this is bigger than swimming. We're training them, we're not training them for swimming, we're training them to work in a diverse workforce after swimming. And so this is really it's following the process of bringing on new club. Is it going to stop with this club, or is it going to, we have to add more clubs with this? And if this process is not legal, I'm looking at my tax statement now. What portion of this is going for park recreation? Is there a refund for this? If this is not legal, right? I'm paying for this tax so that way our swimmer here has an opportunity to swim. Okay? And I feel bad for that because they also have the same dream that we have. But before they form a club, they need to find a facility. I myself struggled with that years ago when I tried to form a basketball club. We have a very difficult time finding a gym at churches, a facility like this, after school, right? And so there's more thought to be into this before they form the club. And, you know, I want to end this on a positive note. We have friendly, great, generous parent coaches in swimming. And we're accepting these women. Thank you.
Hello, board members. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak. My name is Martin Mitan. Zip code is 97006. I'm here to speak as a parent, a member of the district. My wife and I purposely bought a house within district so that we can enjoy being part of Walton Hills Rec District and having access to a pool. Now we're faced with the situation that the times we'd like to go swimming are being shifted, moved around. And this is being done without really taking into account the impact that it's having on the community. Most of the time, since my kids are still small, they started taking swim classes at THPRD. But I go in there as part of the public swimmers, and I like to go swim, do lap lanes. In the summer, I enjoy the long pool swim. And having lanes available in the times that was available to me is now being cut back. What is your view on how you're impacting the people that live within the district that have dependent on you as like a bedrock to support the people who pay taxes in the district to support the pool? I'm speaking not only for myself, but also other friends who have done the same task, moved, sold their homes, and moved to within district to be a part of this community. I look towards you to reevaluate your decision and make sure that the pool times that were available to all these members in the community remain intact and preserved. That these kids who are so excited, and whenever I go swimming, I see them there. Let's preserve that and not take that away from them.
27 and 28 to the table, please. And presenters 29 and 30, you will be up next.
My name is David, and my name is David Chen, and my zip code's 97229. I'm a competitive swimmer. I practice with my team at the THPRD pool, and I love it. Being in the water feels like home, and no matter how tired I am, swimming makes everything better. My favorite stroke is breaststroke. I made it to the Oregon top 10. I work really hard because I dream of becoming a professional swimmer one day. Practice isn't always easy. One time our lane was so crowded that I got kicked in the face, and it hurt a lot. When I touched my cheek, I saw blood on my hand. I had to stop and get my wound cleaned before I could go back in. I didn't want to sit out for long. I knew that if I wanted to improve, I had to keep going. Our team has over 300 swimmers, and our pool is already full. THPRD's policy says new teams should only be added if there's space, but our lanes are packed. It's hard to practice when so many swimmers are in one lane. Our coach always teaches us to have good sportsmanship and be supporting each other. We should all be able to practice and improve without feeling like we have to fight for space. This pool isn't just a place to swim. It's like a second home to me and my teammates. I still remember the first time I swam a 100 individual medley when I was 7 years old. I was so tired, but when I looked up, I saw my friends at the edge of the pool cheering at the top of their lungs. That moment made me believe I could do anything. Swimming has taught me to work hard and never give up and believe in myself. This pool has helped us not just grow as swimmers, but as good citizens. Please, I hope THPRD will help us keep our practice time. Without it, some of my friends might not be able to keep swimming, and that would just be sad. Swimming isn't just a sport to me. It's my passion, my dream, and a huge part of my life. And this is where that dream begins. Please help us keep it. Thank you.
Okay, I apologize in case you missed it out there, but we're gonna ask for no clapping, no cheering, even for the kids to keep it moving, please.
Just a quick check, is number 28 was 27 and 27 was 28. Do we have Zhao Wei Bao? Okay, I'm going to move ahead then and say, can presenters 29 and 30 please come to the table? And that will mean 31 and 32, you will be up next.
Thank you for having us tonight. My name is Jamil Atai, 97231. So again, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak at this board meeting. My name is Jamil Atai. As mentioned, I'm a back parent, coach, former T Hills coach, former T Hills parent. I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. Swam within Oregon swimming starting at the age of 9, all the way through my first 2 years of Division I college swimming. In my formative years, I was fortunate enough to work with coaches that are now known around the world for their impact on the sport, which their impact continues today as they are active. However, it was their mentorship and guidance in the sport that taught me more than swimming: commitment, perseverance, determination, and a work ethic that's allowed me to earn 2 bachelor's degrees, 3 masters, and become the director of technology development at Intel for the past 24 years. All of which I attribute to this sport in one form or another. As a swimmer though, when growing up, I was oblivious to the politics of youth sports, and tonight proves why, thank God. Having to testify at a board meeting to grant use of public facility to a sports team, going through an affiliate process, whether legal, not legal, whatever we want to call it, is unfortunate at best. In a short time span, BAC has truly erupted onto the Oregon swimming scene, producing state, sectional, futures, junior national level swimmers, national All-American considerations, and is one of the top 5 teams as measured by the past 2 weekends ago, where our combined scores were 5th. The results are great, and it's getting better, but honestly, it's the culture that radiates. The two of the original coaches at BAC, one retired military, the other active, set for deployment in a couple weeks, have worked tirelessly to embed a positive culture into all swimmers. Cindy, who has worked in the aquatics industry for decades, is our cultural ambassador and has provided the foundation for this club's culture through community outreach, raising money for local neighborhoods and other volunteering events in the metro area. It's the culture that we've shaped that has fostered the aforementioned in-pool results, but more importantly, nurtured the complete student athlete, setting BAC apart from other teams that I've experienced firsthand. Providing this segment of the THPRD community the opportunity to train at the only Olympic-sized pool in the area will help further develop these talented student athletes for events such as Futures, which are only held in long course meters, same for Olympic trials. Seems intuitive to me, at least, that exclusive rights should not be granted to any one club at any public facility, irrespective of the field, the court, or the pool. For those in the aquatics profession, it's well known that aquatics programming is notoriously difficult, often measuring success in minimizing losses rather than maximizing profits. So honestly, I commend THPRD for seeking to...
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Alan and my zip code is 97229. I'm a swimmer on the THSC swim team in the boat squad, and I've been swimming for almost 3 years now. And I'm here to convince you to reconsider your decision to let BAC share lanes with the already established THSC swim team in the pool, because our pool, I mean, the the pool is already packed and crowded. There's 6 kind of groups using the THPRD pool. There's Tualatin Hills Synchro, Tualatin Hills Water Polo, and THSC, Barracuda's Olympic Way swim lessons, and not to mention open swim and lap swim too. There are usually around 4 groups using the pool at once. When we have practice, it's the Thunder Squad, Bull Squad, Olympic Way, and swim lessons. And we always have diving earlier during the days leading up to swim meets. There are usually 5 kids on the boys' side of the lane and 7 kids on the girls' side of the lane. If THPRD lets another swim team use the already crowded swim center, then we'll get even more crowded and confusing. Both squad gets 4 lanes when we practice, so if you let back share lanes with us, everyone will be squished, even them too. Everyone will have to change their schedules and times, and that means people like me who have crowded schedules will probably have to quit their activities or something that they are doing. Plus, there is also the problem with swim meets. For example, if our team is doing a swim meet like Friday Night Thunder, the kids from back will have no other lanes to go to. And if they come and share lanes with our team, there will sometimes be multiple, and then there's sometimes maybe even be kids from back in our lane sometimes because it's just too crowded. And I just think having 2 teams in one pool will not just make the pool more crowded and harder to swim in, and there'll probably be like tension and fights. And I also think having 2 teams next to each other isn't a great idea because there would be a lot more gear, bags, and parkas would be on deck, and that also means the coaches and lifeguards would have less room. Would you rather have everybody squished, confusing schedules and fighting, or would you rather have the same schedules, less crowded pools, no fighting, and making our team and the others who use the pool happy? I think the choice is obvious and the pros outweigh the cons. I hope you understand why, and we want you to reconsider your decision. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. 31 and 32, the table, please. And 33 and 34, you will be up next.
Hi, thank you. My name is Eric B. 97225. I'm the chair of the board of our medical practice, so I thank you for your service to Alton Hills Parks and Rec District. I know what a thankless job that is, so I appreciate that. With that being said, as a member of our board having obvious conflict of interest, that member would have to declare for discussion of the topic, would have to recuse themselves from the debate and abstain from the vote. I also have 2 children, mine and Ben, age 6 and 9. I think our children are similar ages. It's impossible to not, when you have skin in the game, it's impossible to be impartial. This is a emotional discussion, but it's about policy. It's not related to people necessarily. In our competition, we want PAC to be an extremely successful team. We would invite them to our practices. We invite those swimmers here. So it's not about one team or the other. It is you have to follow policy and procedure. And if my medical practice didn't follow policy and procedure on an internal matter, independent of state law, we'd be subject to legal action. I do want to state a few things. My daughter Maya, she's 9 years old, we joined while we had other swim options. Tualatin Hills is by far the absolute best learn to swim program in the area, bar none. You can debate it, it's not true, it's absolutely the best learn to swim program. My daughter would know how to swim. We brought her to the Tualatin Hills. She learned how to swim, she was top 5 in the state within the first season. Made her top 5 times. He was following the same trajectory, so he was successful. I coached at Stanford University, I've coached at Duke University, I've coached at University of Wisconsin-Madison, I've coached national champion triathletes and teams, I was the division one swimmer and runner. It never works to have multiple teams in the same category, in the same facility at the same time. But there are options that can meet everybody's needs. So when I'm growing up as a swimmer in North Carolina, we combined these teams on the weekend and did joint practices, and that allowed us to swim in a more exciting, more competitive environment. The swimmers loved it, the kids loved it, the coaches loved it. It allowed my team, which didn't have long course access, to access a long course pool. I don't know if the coaches at the back have reached out to the coaches at Walton Hills to see if that's a possibility. That would obviously be the first step, right? You know, come to someone's house and say, we're taking it squatting here, we're taking it over. The other option would be continuing activities. That's a great thing to think about. I don't know if you want to dedicate some of the time to that.
Thank you so much.
One final thing, elections for the board declare by the 20th of this month. Elections are the
Thank you, number 32. We'll have 33 and 34 next.
my 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Alex Canessa, and my zip code is 97229. And I'm here to just introduce myself and our family as part of the BAC community, or part of a community. So my 2 daughters both joined BAC in the waning days of COVID. For my girls, COVID had been a rough time. It was socially isolating and provided a real lack of physical activity, and it had taken a big toll. And so when they expressed even a tiny bit of interest in swimming, we started shopping around, looking at clubs, and we settled on BAC. We felt that it provided our family with the right community of swimmers, the right coaching, and the right culture generally to do a whole series of things. Neither of my daughters had been swimming for a club before. They'd done rec swimming in the past, but that was about it. And so we were a little bit concerned about integrating them into a team. And BAC really met that with us. It helped to accept them as part of the community. It helped them to grow as swimmers and people. It fostered positive athletic competition and provided a really inclusive social environment for the team. We landed there and we really couldn't be happier with it. We wouldn't do anything differently. It really did help pull both my girls out of that pandemic funk. They made new friends across the area, not just in their little community, but across all of Beaverton. They learned new skills. They shouldered new responsibilities for themselves. They developed their own athletic abilities. They learned to stretch their understanding of what they are capable of, both mentally and physically. And the BAC and its families and the culture there really helped that happen. Without that, I'm not sure they would have been the same people that they are today. So for me, BAC has met both my hopes and expectations in every sense. As a club, it fosters the love of swimming, athletics, that I was really afraid that had died during that COVID time. Because the coaches and families, my oldest is now a lifeguard. She works at THPRD facilities. And in the spring, she's going to go and swim at Pacific Lutheran University, which I never thought was something that might happen. My youngest is a swimmer. That's what she is. That's all she thinks about, all she wants to talk about, and it's because of that. My wife and I are both teachers in Beaverton School District. The cost of club swimming and other club sports for my other kids is incredibly expensive. Without BAC's generous scholarships, our swimmers wouldn't be able to participate in everything that they could have participated in. For one, my youngest daughter, with a BAC scholarship, was able to attend the Zones meet in Idaho. That is something that teachers would have struggled to move. And I think that that's an amazing feature of BAC. So I just wanted to say thank you for receiving my comments tonight. We're really grateful, honestly. We're really grateful for the opportunity. We're grateful to THPRD and the community of BAC for working so hard. And we're also—
Thank you so much. I'm sorry you're at time. Thank you. 33 and 34 to the podium table, and 35, 36, you're up next.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We got you.
Awesome. So first of all, my name is Carla Rodriguez and my zip code is 97007. I am a mom of 2 daughters who are swimmers at THSC and have been for 3 years. I'm also an executive at a Fortune 500 company, a small business owner in Yamhill County, and a very proud member of the Hispanic community here in the Oregon area. I'm here today to express my concern over THPRD's recent decision to allocate morning lane space to the new affiliate. In your vision statement, and I'm paraphrasing, you state that you will enhance healthy and active lifestyles while connecting more people to nature, parks, and programs. And then you will do this through stewardship of public resources and by providing programs and spaces to fulfill unmet needs. Our team has an unmet need, and you are in a position to provide the space to ensure we continue to have healthy and active lifestyles for our team, which is largely made up of in-district families. Specifically, we need you to stay true to your vision and ensure we continue with our allotted lane space. The reality is, as you've heard from many folks today, our team has had a need for even more lane space, and our servers are already crowded, and we currently have a wait list to join our team, which limits our ability to provide more opportunities for children to enjoy the sport. Many of us are juggling incredibly busy schedules, and your decision will impact dozens of families and swimmers and will lead to many quitting the sport altogether by forcing THSCs to find additional swimming pools, which are not really available, shifting schedules, reworking squads, and stretching our coaches. As I stated, I am the mother of 2 daughters. They're at home doing schoolwork, hopefully feeding themselves at this point. And I can tell you that being a part of this competitive swim team has increased their self-confidence, given them critical time management skills, expanded their social circle with a more diverse set of friends and teammates, and has given them really a sense of identity. They really identify as swimmers. Please do not put this in jeopardy, especially at a time when young girls and women are still having to fight for equal opportunities. I urge you to be transparent, unbiased, and consistent in your actions. We look forward to finding a resolution where we can continue the long-standing partnership with organizations that we have had for decades. And I really do appreciate all the board work that you all do, because I know board work goes largely unappreciated. So thank you for your time today.
Hi, my name's Andrea Chakrapani. I live at 97229, and I actually grew up there. So I grew up at THPRD doing competitive tennis and competitive soccer, both at THPRD, and went on to play D1 tennis. I have 2 swimmers on the THSC swim team, and just to be fully transparent, they were on back 4 years ago, and when we were on back, I was encouraged both to apply to be on the THPRD board and to be part of the affiliation workforce. But my daughter was around 12 and she was looking for a different environment, and she asked to move to THSC, so we did. And it's been a fantastic environment for her, and her little brother followed suit. I think you've already heard that there is no available capacity at the 50-meter pool. The kids are kicking each other, the lanes are so full. But there is room at the satellite pools. So why is the new affiliate being allocated space in a pool that's currently full of THSC swimmers and water polo and diving when there is other space available? If the new affiliate is given time at the 50-meter pool, it will displace existing groups. And just because of the way our schedule works out and because of the Beaverton School District schedule, those groups are going to be the Beaverton Public School middle schoolers. So why would THPRD choose to disrupt the very kids that they're meant to serve? If THPRD proceeds with displacing THSC for back, it will destabilize THSC. And back is not equipped to replace THSC when it comes to hosting these major meets that you've been hearing about that are a big economic boon for the community and for THPRD. So this would not benefit the community or THPRD. So why would THPRD make a decision that's not in the best interest of their community? THPRD defines in district as taxpayers contributing to the district. In all things except for the affiliation, that is how in district is defined. Taxpayers in district. However, when it comes to the affiliation, it's instead using the Beaverton School District boundary, creating an inconsistency. For example, Oak Hills, where BAC practices and many of its swimmers reside, is part of the Beaverton School District, but does not pay THPRD taxes. And I just want to point out that Jeff Lee, who oversees affiliation, has a child on the BAC swim team. This presents a potential conflict of interest. So I ask, why does in-district have different definitions for affiliation in different parts of THPRD? As already has been pointed out, there is a THPRD board member who has a BAC swimmer, obviously raising concerns about impartiality. Given the circumstances, I would assume that any votes and discussions involving
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Number 35 and 36. Up next, and if you could move closer to the table, we're going to keep on moving here. 37 and 38, you will be next. Go for it.
Holly, 97239.
Thank you much.
I want to thank the THPRD board member with children on the back team for saying that swimming is for everyone. As I'm here as a random drop-in lap swimmer and part of that aging, growing population that relies on THPRD as an affordable place to swim. And I love long course for open water swim training. I have no issues with sharing the space and sometimes being displaced by diving, synchro, water polo, swim lessons, the Barracudas, and the competitive or recreational teams that are already using THPRD. However, if the board is moving to a model to prioritize adding affiliates, the general public will also be further squeezed out. I have been listening to the thoughtful testimonies tonight. I think all the speakers, especially the kids, have learned a lot about the process, and it's a little bit concerning. Thank you very much for your service and the opportunity to speak.
Gordon. My name is Julian Lee, 97229. I am on the national squad at Walton Hill Swim Club. I have summer juniors and I am desperately chasing a college education. I have a little excerpt here from one of the speeches that our dearest board members couldn't finish. This is the financial aid statement that our program has. Only 67.6% of our families have a household income of over $50,000. Thus, to ensure we are accessible to lower income families, we offer a 50% reduction in our club dues to children and families that meet mean tested methods. Walton Hill Swim Club's financial support can be up to $2,365 per swimmer per year. This is the same criteria THPRD uses for financial support. THPRD has a $300 per person annual waiver. And this is not to say that THPRD is not generous. Rather, this is to illustrate that Walton Hill Swim Club is going above and beyond to provide access from everyone. And with that out the way, time for my rant. With all respect to my friends and previous coaches at BAC, it really takes a teenager to say this. The justification you provided for an additional affiliate is this packet that was put together like a ChatGPT science project. This joke of a packet is meant to answer the questions of more than 400 people. Focusing on the data you provided, Table 3, the spring 2025 hours allotment, labels 5,451 hours up for allocation in the spring for Walton Hill Swim Club. There's only 8,000 hours in a year. That's not even possible. Doing the math, even if you had 5 pools leasing out to us, which you don't, that's still 13 hours allocated every single day for each of the 5 pools for the duration of the spring. It's obvious you're way overcounted the amount of time you give us. Table 4, summer 2025 allotment hours. Labels 4,697 hours allocated to Walton Hill Swim Club. This doesn't at all reflect Table 1. That shows only 115, that's not even 1%, over 115 hours available for the entire month per season. None of these charts match up. It doesn't even take a first grader to figure out that this entire packet is nothing but a sham. Please take my testimony as an insult. If I had submitted work like this for school, I definitely would have been held back. At the end of the day, the very least we could be provided is an honest motive and a solution for the problem you've created. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, 37 and 38 to the table, please. And 39 and 40, you will be up next.
My name is Charlotte Ducanois, 97209. I am a swimmer on the THSC national squad. My family and I lived overseas for the majority of my life and in Hong Kong from 2015 to 2021, except for a period of 2 months in early 2020, which we spent here in Beaverton. While we were here over Chinese New Year, COVID shut everything down in Hong Kong, leaving us stranded here indefinitely. Because I wanted to keep swimming while I was away, I joined THSC. My first practice, I was nervous to meet a group of people in an unfamiliar place, but I was only stood on my own for a split second before my teammates were all over me, asking me about myself and welcoming me to the team, despite knowing that I'd be there for only a short time. During this time, I got to experience the camaraderie and support that came with THSC at 2 different swim meets, by far the most inclusive team I'd ever been a part of. Eventually, we went back to Hong Kong, but a year and a half later, when it came time for us to leave due to harsh, almost dystopian COVID restrictions, we chose Portland. This was a place where we had no familial connection. However, we chose to move here due to the connections I made during my short time at THSC. Moving halfway across the world at age 14 was not easy, but this team made the transition so much smoother for me, our pool of familiar haven when everything else was foreign. I've loved every second I've spent at this team and would like to see it continue to thrive for many years to come. Without the lane space that our many swimmers need to develop as athletes, the future of this club will be in jeopardy. Thank you, folks.
Good evening. I'm Anna Thames, zip code 97006. First, I want to thank you for all of your dedication to our community and for the countless opportunities you're providing all of us as athletes of all ages. I'm here on behalf of the Barracudas Masters Swimming Club. THPRD has played a significant role in my own journey. In 1992, I swam at THSC as an age group swimmer. So I very much appreciate BAC and THSC talking about the swimming experiences that they're having. And more than 30 years later, I'm back swimming with the Barracudas on a master team. It is an incredible community, and you've heard from some of our members and our head coach, where swimmers of all ages and abilities come together. We have coaches from competitive other swim teams that swim with us. And they choose to swim with us because of the environment, the community place that we have, the welcoming, and of course, the facilities at THPRD. We are growing, we're thriving. We went to the lane allocation meeting hoping to ask for an additional lane because of our varied skills and abilities on our team and our passionate swimming group. THPRD, I always say, all the times, be hard on the process, soft on the people. And THPRD has a defined process for managing affiliates as well as for lane allotment that has had a best practice for how we go about shared resources, ensuring fairness, transparency. And it's really essential that we continue to follow those processes as they're defined. Because when we get to a point when processes are not upheld, it creates what we hear today, confusion. It undermines trust that we have. It impacts athletes across the board and families that we've heard from who rely on these programs. We are simply asking for consistency and fairness. So by following the process as intended, again, being part of the process, not the people, this is a room full of really great people, and make sure that our decisions are in line with those intent, then we can be in a place where we're taking the entire community into hold. So I urge you to take a step back and relook at the process that you have defined, how you've allocated the lane alignment, and ensure that we are truly following that in the best interest for all community members. Thank you.
39 and 40. And then members 41 and 42, you will be up next, but looking for 39 and 40 to the table.
My name is Chloe 97229, and I'm a swimmer for THSC on the regional squad. THSC has been a transformational experience for me. I have learned hard work, time management, and the value of teamwork. I know how to get back up from failure and am more confident in myself as a person. My teammates are some of my best friends and supporters, and they feel like family. I cherish the community that is our team, and I want to survive it for the future. I don't want to lose my best friends and my teammates. If that were to integrate into our pool, future swimmers would lose out on this life-changing experience. Without long course practice lane allocation, young swimmers can be demotivated by their disappointing long course times. As someone who has suffered from bad swimming due to extended time out of the water from health issues, I know firsthand how bad performances can affect mental health and confidence. I cried at every single meet last season because I knew I wasn't able to achieve what I knew I could if I had sufficient practice. I hope the THPRD board tries to prevent similar heartache for our swimmers by preserving THSC pool space. Thank you.
My name is Will Lee. My zip code, my postcode is 97229, and I am an aspiring swimmer and middle schooler. As a young swimmer on Walton Hill Swim Club, I want to leave my opinion on the pool of which I call home. To start off, I'd like everybody to look around and take a good look at the parents and swimmers who are around you today and represent my club. You see the worried faces around you? Do you feel the distress in the air and the uncertainty all around you? I'd like the board members personally to take a good second to reflect on what they've seen and heard tonight. Think of the children that have been coming in and out and sitting patiently around the room, and also not to mention the kids who have came up here bravely and spoken about their opinions for the pool. Think about their love and passion for the sport. If you take away our pool space, all of these kids and swimmers are forced to relocate and change their schedules. Some of them will not be able to make it to practice. Some of them won't be able to swim or pursue their passion because the new schedule simply will not allow it. So when these student children, myself included, who are still growing up and developing, are unable to see their friends and swim, what are you guys going to tell them? Are you going to tell them to just cry about it? That they should just deal with it? Maybe they should just drop swimming and pick up a different sport? So I want you to think about this, and when you make this decision, I want you to think deeply about the kids that you are affecting. You can choose to harm them, or you can give them a fair chance and let them chase their dream. Thank you for your time.
41 and 42, you're next. And I'd like to call it audible. We have one more in-person testimony after that, number 43, and we did originally have 2 people online. So I want to give our folks who registered to testify virtually a heads up. So Chris Heskin and Michael Johnson, if you're still on the line, we've got 3 more in person, and then we'll be going to you virtually. Thank you. Guest 41.
Hey, my name is Karen Smith, formerly Hanson, zip code 97225. I am a former Division I athlete and Olympic trials qualifier. I grew up swimming for THSC and still hold an Oregon swimming state record. I began swimming for Margaret Penn, the co-founder of THSC. I am also a former Beaverton School District special education teacher. I now have 3 children, and my 2 sons now swim for THSC. I chose this club for my kids because of the long-standing reputation of excellence that they have and because of the experience that I had. My teammates are still like family to me. However, I want to remind everyone why we are here. We are here to talk about lane allotment and new affiliate pool time. We can all agree how special swimming is and all the lifelong lessons that it teaches us. We are not disagreeing that BAC should have lane space. In fact, THPRD has offered lane space at the Beaverton pool and they've turned it down. If they are growing and need more space, then why did they not accept the lane space that was offered to them? The 50-meter pool is at capacity, so why would THPRD offer space at the 50-meter pool to BAC? This is not a decision based on THPRD's own policy. You also stated that you take pride in transparency. Then why were we unaware that this was happening, and why were we not involved in an open communication about it? THSC was never made aware that a new affiliate was added and that they were being given lane space at the 50-meter pool. I urge you to look at your own policies and your own values and reassess your decisions on lane allotment and location for the new affiliate. This new lane allocation will likely force my sons to be swimming at different pools. My younger son is just getting started, and he will be separated from his friends and his brother because of this. He loves this sport, and I fear that he will choose not to continue because of this. Thank you.
I'd like to start off by reading the mission statement.
Please, pardon the interruption. Could you please state your name and your zip code for the record?
Yeah. My name is George Hilberry, and 97007.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to start off this evening by reading the mission statement for THPRD. The mission of the Tualatin Hills Parks and Recreation District is to provide high-quality park and recreation facilities, program services, and natural areas that meet the need and the diverse communities it serves. You, as the board of directors, have failed or are failing. We've heard a lot of testimony tonight. Does this community sound like it's being served? Just sitting in rooms with attorneys sound like a community that's being served? I don't think so. I've heard a lot of talk about a public resource and everyone's entitled to it. This is true, but public resources are not infinite. As we're talking tonight, lane allocations, it's finite. There's only so much of it. And you as the board have a responsibility of managing that. It doesn't mean that everyone's entitled. There's national concessions issued to single vendors throughout the National Service Park Service. You're one vendor. Now, if the Tualatin Hills Swim Club was turning away members of your community and not allowing them to participate, then I can understand your decision. But this swim club has not turned anyone away. Just because another community wants to come in because they like their coaches and just want to have access, it's your responsibility to manage that resource. You have a community, it's not being served. Lost my train of thought. Apologies. It confounds me that the board felt that it was a good decision to bring two competitive swim clubs together. It's confounding. That point aside, the implementation has been a failure. Your execution of bringing these two communities together has been a failure. As stewards of this public resource, I demand that you take some leadership and serve this community that's looking for guidance and to be served. Thank you.
Okay, and number 43, please. And our virtual presenters, you're up next.
Hi, my name is Evie Wildy and I live in 97219. So I'm here as a proud member of the THSC community and swim mom. I want to stress that our community recognizes the discrepancies at play, and that includes the children privy to this important civics lesson. Simplified, this is a supply and demand issue that has been complicated by non-compliance, poor math skills, a conflict of interest, and a lack of commitment to your own policy. At some point in the past, representatives of THPRD realized that pool space is valuable real estate, and the pool is a finite space. To be clear, no one is questioning VAC's aptitude as a competitive team that brings value to its swimmers and their families. We're asking you to honor your own policies and take to heart the testimonies of the THSC swimmers and families that took the time to be here today. Thank you.
Hey, Chris Peskin, if you could come off mute.
Hi, can you hear me
video.
and see me?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
If you could state your name and zip code, and we're ready for you here in the room.
My name's Chris Peskin, zip code
Just one
97.
moment, we can't hear you, sir.
Hello? Hello?
I can't see if he's unmuted. Are you unmuted? You want to do a little mic check?
I'm unmuted.
Is it our sound? Is that why Felicia doesn't get in?
You unmuted mic up there.
Hello, hello.
Oh, it's
Here.
It's ours.
We can hear you in the lobby. We just can't hear you in our actual meeting room.
Okay.
Do we want to prop the door open and see if we can hear it that way? Have him
disengage that.
Mr. Peskin, if you could just give me a mic check.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Fantastic. We're doing something very creative here in the room. So apologies. If you could begin again, state your name and zip code for the record, and you will have 3 minutes.
Chris Peskin, zip code 97231. My son Kepler, he's 10 years old. He swims with Tualatin Hills Swim Club at the Aquatic Center after school. It's a very enriching activity for him. And due to tight commute times from school, we're extremely lucky that the swim schedule allows him to attend practice at this location. It has come to my attention there's a resource contention with lane time at the Aquatic Center due to THPRD's decision to add an additional affiliate swim club, which may displace us to a different pool or time slot. Any schedule or location change is very precarious for us, and I fear these changes would force Kepler to abandon swimming altogether as an activity, which would be a shame given how much he enjoys it. THPRD has failed to follow its own affiliate policy, which states that new affiliates are only added when space is underutilized. Our pool is already full. The policy also states that new affiliates must facilitate services that are not already being offered by THPRD or an existing affiliate. We facilitate the same services as the new affiliate. 3, in the event that there are 2 affiliates in the same spot, priority is supposed to be given to the affiliate with the most in-district participants. We have 3 times the number of in-district participants than the new affiliate. This leaves us with many questions as to why the new affiliate was added in the first place and why THPRD would displace us in favor of this new affiliate. I'm also told the new affiliate has a parent on the THPRD board and a parent who manages the affiliation application process at THPRD. These may present a conflict of interest. I request that the THPRD board hold off on adding any additional affiliates to the Aquatic Center pool until next year, and only after the procedural issues that I just mentioned can be properly addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Johnson, if you could also please come off your camera and mute.
I think he may have testified in person earlier.
Okay. Last call. Okay. I think we can close the doors. I think we are good to go. I would just like to take a moment. That concludes everyone who had shown up and registered to, I'll put the microphone back on. Especially for the young, again, audience time. It's not a moment for dialogue, but I do just as the president want to thank all of you for coming and sharing your thoughts with us this evening. In particular, I'm a sucker for civic engagement, especially with our youth. So I'd just like to take an opportunity. Not all of the young kids are still here, but I can't see who all's out there. But again, just thank you for the youth participation and thank you for coming out this evening. Appreciate it. We will continue on with our agenda. And with that, I think we are moving on to agenda item number 8, which is our committee liaison updates. And knowing that it's been a long evening, here's if you could just keep our updates brief, much appreciated, so we can get through as much as we can the rest of this evening. Miles, are you volunteering?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's off here. Sorry.
Giving a update on the Metro Policy Advisory Committee. The new members that were appointed to that committee have been represented in the Portland City Council. So we had Chair Alana Perlkin as well as Councilor Candice Avalos that joined us for that Metro Policy Advisory Committee. The nature of that discussion was mostly around some of the work that Metro is doing in the transportation space in Portland proper on 82nd Avenue. But that is my updates for the committee side. So on behalf of the years.
Also just go.
Okay.
I did Equity Engagement Advisory Committee this month, and it was another great one where Lulu and staff just presented all the things that we already know is wonderful about THPRD, and so, just to orient all of our advisory members of all the great things we do so that it can help advise them for future decisions and opportunities. And then I think as a board, we met for mid-year budget. So thank you to staff for all your work and making something so confusing and difficult to something very easily to understand. So thank you to you guys for doing that. And that's all.
Fantastic. Thank you.
None to report this month.
Okay, fantastic. I'll jump in quickly to just offer Nature and Trails Advisory Committee. We met, and thank you, Bruce, taking us through functional plans and getting grounded in what the functional plans are there to do, and that we do have some revisions that we are expecting. And so welcoming folks into that process to understand that we'll be coming back to them as these functional plans continue to be updated and whatnot. I also would just like to give a special shout out, especially in light of it being Women's History Month and the proclamation we made. I had the pleasure of attending the Oregon Commission for Women, their 40th anniversary of the Women of Achievement celebration, and our very own Beaverton City Councilor Nadia Hassan was awarded an Emerging Leader Recipient Award. So just lots of women in service here on our own board, here in staff, other elected office. So I know, again, we're running short on time, but I do just want to take a moment and thank all of my fellow peers here who juggle all of the things and acknowledge the Women's History Month. I am so sorry, Felicita.
No, I didn't raise my hand. I will send an email.
I still can't hear you. We can see that you are talking.
Use the chats.
You're giving me a thumbs up and saying she's okay. All right. Apologies for some technical difficulties, but we see you and we saw your thumbs up. Okay, with that, I think I would entertain a motion for our consent agenda.
I move that the board approve the consent agenda as submitted and changed since we added something. Do I need to say that? Or
as amended.
Okay, yeah. And addended.
Final second. Oh, hello, Alfredo, second.
All right, Jessica, would you mind taking a vote?
Alfredo Marina.
Yes.
Felisa Monteblanco. Thumbs up. Miles Palacios. Yes. Pia. Yes. Irene.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much for your patience, staff. I'm not sure. I'm looking at Doug. Are we going to continue on, or are we going to do some punting here?
We can vote.
Okay. Both legislative session and general manager's report?
Yeah, it's the board's pleasure.
Okay. Fellow peers, I mean, y'all have all hung around, so I'm looking at Julie and I'm like, if we're
If
here,
staff wants to stay, I don't mind staying.
I personally do not mind either. We have 2 more items and y'all have waited all night.
Like to hear.
So,
We can do this. So first is legislative update. I'm not sure we still have Kylie.
absolutely okay. How about we punt?
Yeah.
We
okay.
do.
Okay, then
We
we're
do.
gonna
I'm
roll
here.
along.
All right.
Thanks
I'm
for the
here.
flexibility, team.
I'm here.
Okay. So, yeah, I think we're starting slightly later than what Kylie may have expected. So, if she is still here, she can jump in. But she and I just wanted to share with you sort of an update about where we are in the legislative session. So, something that Sabrina mentioned happened at the Special Districts Association of Oregon conference was a bit of an introduction of folks that represent us down in Salem. And so I stole that idea and I'm one-upping it because they didn't include a map because, you know, they're covering the whole state. But for us, we're talking about just our district. And so I wanted to make sure you understood who we have in terms of Senate representation for the district. So the black line is our ultimate boundary, outside boundary of THPRD, and then the different colors represent the different districts. So we have Senator Kate Lieber, Winsve Campos, Janine Solomon, Lisa Reynolds, MD, and Aaron Woods, our representatives. And here's some pictures of them. Some of you might run into these folks on a regular basis. Others might not. I thought it was cool to have this. In fact, I got sent home with a poster of all the faces of all the representatives, and it lives proudly on my desk right now. So just wanted to show you, here are our senators, and then we have a map of all of our different representative districts as well. So we have 8 across our district. So whenever we're promoting a change and we want to, you know, say, please help us get this done, we have to write a lot of letters, lots and lots of letters. So here are our different representatives down in the House. And those are their districts. And so many of them are known to us and we've worked with them in the past. Shannon Isidore and Mari Watanabe are new to us this year. So we do have the calendar up on the screen. We've started the session. This is the long session. There's some important dates within this. There's deadlines to get bills out. There are, you've got to move out of that first chamber deadlines. You got to get into the second one. We hope to be concluded by the 18th, just before the Juneteenth holiday. The constitutional sign AD is later in the month though. But we do hope to be largely finished mid-June. And the next slide, just a short list of kind of the primary issues that we're tracking and that are coming out as big topics within the legislative session. So transportation funding is enormous right now. Lots of conversation about that. Lots of talk about wildfire funding. And unfortunately, a lot of changes at the federal level and federal funding that are affecting wildfire mitigation efforts by other agencies around the state. Affordable housing is a huge issue here locally and across the state. Of course, behavioral health, homelessness, those are also big topics, and education reform is a huge one this session. We fortunately have Kylie, who helps us sort through the over 3,000 bills that have been introduced to date. We know that many of those are placeholders and could change substantially, so we're watching those really carefully. Right now, Kylie's tracking a lot of bills for us, but we're specifically looking at just over 100. And the way she filters this all down for us, just as a reminder, these are our kind of pillars in terms of our state platform. So if a bill touches on one of these categories, those are the things that she is bringing to our attention. And then specifically, there are a couple of items that have really started to ramp up within the session and we're starting to provide testimony on. So recreational immunity is a huge, huge topic, and it has been for a few years due to recent court cases. We have worked in collaboration with Special Districts Association of Oregon, with the Oregon Recreation and Park Association, to help fund some legal advice that is filtered through a working group that was established to work with Senator Przanski to find a solution. Previously, that solution was established for a period of time, and we are hoping to get that extended and made permanent. It would have sunsetted next year if we didn't do something different. So we have submitted testimony on that. It is going to the senators now. After school and childcare funding, there's a series of bills that affect those, and our main interest there is ensuring, unlike COVID funds that filtered through to the state and county level, we want to make sure that us as an entity can access those funds through a competitive process. Previously, we were only able to access funds if we were to partner with a school district or an ESD, educational service district. So we just want to make sure we have that same ability. We also have a staff member who's been monitoring the e-micro mobility conversation. So this is not e-bikes, but it's other little things like the single wheels jetting around. And so there's been a lot of interest of, how do those relate on our trails, for example. So that working group is now moving toward introduction of a bill that we are monitoring and maybe offering a little feedback on. Also, RV registrations, there's a proposal to create a new fee that would help fund the removal of RVs that are abandoned. So we're interested in that, providing a financial tool to organizations that are dealing with a lot of that. Fortunately, we are not currently. And then anything that has any whiff of SDCs, we watch that very closely. So there's a couple of things that are being discussed right now and we're watching and providing feedback on. So that is what we've got in terms of current issues. Any questions for us? Kylie's here.
She says ditto.
Ditto. Fantastic. You represented her well. Thank you for being on text. Here's any comments? No. Okay. It's fantastic. Thank you for powering through, Aisha.
You bet. The one thing Kylie was absolutely going to say is that she is working hard right now to try and schedule out meetings with our representatives for those dates in April that we shared with you. And I know you're anxious to get some blocks on your calendars. We will be working hard on that this coming week.
Fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. General Manager's report.
Yes.
But I think we're passing it over to our friends at Jenkins Estate.
Definitely.
Okay. You win the Patience Award. And thank you for hanging in there and giving us an opportunity to I think what a waste to come and not actually have the opportunity to share with us tonight. So apologies that it's late, but I promise you, we are all ears and we're ready for you.
Part of working in events is that you learn to pivot and be flexible. So we're happy to do that tonight. And so, oh, there we go. Little lag time. Yeah, we're thankful that we're able to be here tonight and for the opportunity to get the chance to tell you what we've been doing up at Jenkins for the last 8 months or so. And so tonight, or this evening at this point, my name is Heather Marshall. I'm the program specialist up there. You're going to hear from Andrea Gallegos, who's our program assistant, and then finally Isabella Barone, who's our Diversify intern, who's about to graduate soon. So to kind of start us off here, we have just a wealth of photos for you to look at of kind of what we've, just a little bit of what we've been able to do the last 8 months up at Jenkins. And one of the things that we were first tasked with is to kind of get in touch with the community and be able to allow time for them to for us to listen to what they might see up here at the Jenkins Estate. It's been a long, history within the community and has traveled through many different hands at times, even though it was under Tualatin Hills umbrella. And so we've had the ability to be able to connect with the community, listen to them as to what they might see and envision up there, rather than us just going in and saying, this is what's going to happen. So for example, the photos up there give you a little bit of an insight. We recently hosted a small school dance. There's a lot of celebration of life that occur up there because of the space. Lots of weddings. We work closely with our current contracted partner with Reedville Catering. And then a lot of other private rentals, things like we had a bar mitzvah, we had a Diwali celebration, we had a Japanese opera, believe it or not, which was a really cool, unique opportunity to watch and be part of. Baby showers, birthday parties, campaign kickoff parties. And so between July of 2024 until where we're at right now, we're reaching around 70 private rentals that we've seen up there. In addition to some of these private rentals, another huge task that we were kind of put under to foresee is corporate rental space. Knowing that historically that Monday through Friday time of the week has kind of been underutilized. And so one of the things that we were also tasked with was to see how can we bring in local corporations and businesses to utilize the space, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And so we've been successful, a lot of reach out, I feel like a salesperson, just, cold calling essentially, but also we've ran into great groups like Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue, who has currently worked a year-long contract with us where they're hosting 4-day-a-week trainings for their firefighters for PTSD trainings. And so they just finished their second round. They've got 2 more coming up in the spring the summer, and then in the fall. And then they're looking to expand the use of the estate for potentially the whole month of January 2026, utilizing the space Monday through Friday for a small meeting space. And so that partnership's been great. We're currently working with some local healthcare companies to host some retreats, some trainings, and some meetings as well. And so the word's getting out there, and we're excited to see people up there as well. And so then the next point that I want to make is that you'll see the master garden up there highlighted. In addition to working with private rentals and corporate, we also really work with 8 different user groups, mostly with internal. So on the 68 acres that is Jenkins Estate, we have a nature center that we have with our preschool up there. We work with Nature and Trails. We work with our grounds crew. We work with our inclusion department at Camp Rivendell. We work with volunteer services and all of the volunteer groups that are out there. And then in addition to that, outside people like Reedville Catering, who hosts a lot of our larger weddings out there with that contracted partnership. The OSU Master Garden has a huge garden out there that we're partnering with them. And so it's a lot of different people all the time up at Jenkins. And if you ever get the chance, the trails are great. And then the other thing that we want to touch on, there we go, is that a huge task that we've also been working on is just the insight into our revenue and what we're essentially trying to generate since July of 2024, so the 8 months that we've been involved in being up at the estate. We have been able to currently reach 76% of our overall revenue goal, which is just over $88,000. As you can see with the pie chart there, the majority of what we're bringing in is through our private rentals, with a percentage coming from Reedville with their weddings. And so the other portion of this is going to be the programming that you see up there. In addition to a lot of our private rentals, we're utilizing some unique programming strategies. And with what you see up there, we are confident that not only will we meet our revenue target, but that we'll be able to exceed it, that goal, by the end of this fiscal year. And with that, we're going to have Andrea give you a little bit deeper insight into the programming that's been happening up at Jenkins.
Hello all, my name is Andrea Gallegos, and today I'll be discussing the programming initiatives at the Jenkins Estate. It's important to understand that our programming strategy here is distinct primarily due to the estate's unique historical significance and environment. Our goal is to create programs that both honor this heritage and provide valuable experiences for our community. Our vision for Jenkins Estate programming is to continue offering unique estate-appropriate programs that resonates with our community. We strive to develop engaging experiences that both preserve the estate's heritage and meet the evolving needs of our patrons. For the winter and spring of 2025, we aim to offer a diverse range of classes, including astrology, bachata, music, knitting, and many more. And we did anticipate a gradual start due to the introduction of new programming at the estate, but we effectively utilized various marketing channels and we successfully launched 4 classes and workshops. We ran line dancing in the stable, crochet in the main house, and we also had sound bathing and yoga in the stable grand loft. Additionally, our drag bingo event with Poison Waters was an incredible success and sold out completely. A cornerstone of our commitment to preserving the estate's legacy is our very popular free historical tours, offered twice a month by our amazing, dedicated volunteers. And when it comes to our programming, we're committed to a feedback-driven approach. We seek out and integrate community input to ensure our programming aligns with their needs. For example, when music classes didn't meet minimum enrollment, we facilitated private lessons at a parent's request. Additionally, we responded to very positive feedback regarding our drag bingo event. And on May 11th, we've rebranded our Mother's Day brunch to be more inclusive. And we'll be hosting a Queens Honoring Queens drag bingo brunch with the one and only Poison Waters, celebrating not only mothers, but parents and all parents and chosen families. Looking ahead, we're really excited for the trajectory of Jenkins Estate programming. And this spring break, we'll be hosting a fairy tale tea party in the stable for ages 3 to 6. And on April 6th, we're partnering with Arc'teryx for an Earth Month celebration in the stables. So now I'm going to pass it off to our Diversify intern to talk more about her experience at the Jenkins Estate.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Isabella Barone. I started at Jenkins Estate in November 2024 and had the incredible opportunity to join the team as an event operations intern through THPRD's Diversify program. Some of my main focuses during this internship were marketing and community partnerships. My goal was to secure partnerships that align with THPRD's values and community connections. Over the past few months, we've developed a few key partnerships, including Nico's New Zealand style ice cream, which will operate out of their cart on the estate grounds during the summertime, Bottle and Bottega, which hosts fun social art and wine events, and a women's personal safety class led by a community member this April. This class teaches nonviolent self-defense techniques designed for women of all abilities. Another project I worked on was to refine the historic Jenkins Estate's Instagram. I focused on creating engaging content that highlighted everything the estate has to offer. As a result, we were able to grow our following and significantly increase engagement. This internship has been a really great opportunity for me to apply skills from my previous career, grow professionally, and contribute meaningfully to the growth of the estate. I'm excited to see the impact of our work as the Jenkins Estate continues to grow. And tomorrow marks the Diversify Intern graduation at the Nature Center, which will officially close out my 4-month journey at Jenkins. However, I'm hopeful that this is just the beginning of my time with THPRD. My fellow interns and I are excited to share more about our projects tomorrow that we've been working on, and I hope to see some of you there.
And with that, that kind of concludes our time. If you had anything you wanted to discuss, we're more than welcome to discuss that with you. Or if you want to come see the estate at any point in time, we'd be happy to see you up there.
I look to my peers first.
I just want to say thank you for bringing some energy. I appreciate the flash of color and the enthusiasm. We needed that. So thank you for telling us a little bit about the Jenkins Estate. I just checked out the Instagram page. It looks great. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really glad to see the diversity of things happening there. I think I go there occasionally, but I'm not always aware. But now I'm following the Instagram page. So yeah, that's really great. So keep up the good work.
And is this pricing for both in district and out of district?
Yeah, so what you have in front of you, in addition to your vintage pen that we were able to find from, way back when, that's going to be our peak pricing. And so with most venues, you'll have off-peak and peak pricing. So actually that's the higher priced, if that makes sense. We do peak pricing during the nicer months, essentially, and then off-peak. So that's a little different, but it gives you a taste of kind of what clients are seeing when they come visit the space. A little bit of a deeper look into what the inside of the main house and the stable look like as well.
Regardless of where you live or where you work, these are, yeah.
Wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. Really excited to come and visit.
Yeah, please do.
I'll only offer one little nugget as a human who plans offsites and has to attend offsites. I was worried I wasn't going to make it here today because I had to go downtown for an offsite. Picking up on corporate events, it is painful to find spaces. And I'm not completely, we didn't go super deep, but the number one thing that I'm always running up against is, again, the capabilities that we have here tonight, right? So being able to host Zoom meetings, plug in for virtual, show your presentations, have everyone here in the room, and then breakout rooms and whatnot. So I think there's amazing networks you have here. And so if there's a way in which we can help support as we're getting the word out, please do call on us and have us do that. But I think you're definitely scratching at something with that Monday through Friday. Offsites and locations out here are needed. So I think you're spot on. And shared appreciation. I'm just going to say it one more time. Thank you for staying. This isn't typical. So for some of you who this might be your first meeting, we don't typically have this kind of a turnout publicly. And we've in my 4 years, we've never gone to 10 o'clock. So I just want to say sincerely, thank you for still having that energy and that passion and sharing with us the tremendous work that you've done. And I'm excited to see Jenkins Estate continue to just, I'm going to use the word blossom.
I love it. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Okay, Mr. Menke, anything else from your side?
No, you're there.
Staff, you are appreciated. Thank you so much for being here this evening.
There is one more item.
There is.
Sorry.
We can do our best to, but we wanted to give you an update on those functional plans. We had talked earlier about work we're doing for the bonds. I know these gentlemen have waited so long.
We're going to drag you down here.
Not see that, gentlemen. I'm sorry.
We had them tucked away,
but my bad.
Pink and blue.
Not very colorful.
Oh gosh, it's right there. Read, Barbie. Gentlemen, bring us home.
We're going to ease it down in a little bit quieter fashion. We can't compete with that, so we're just going to do something totally different.
Okay, we're ready.
And really quick, I just do want to note that Peter Swinton has hung out online with us all night as well. He was planning to be here and was unable to join us in person, but is available to answer any questions. But I just want to acknowledge he has been an integral part of all of these plans being updated along with Bruce. So we just wanted to make note of that.
Please. Good to see you, Peter. We can't really, but I see your little icon.
All right, shall we start? Yep. Next slide. Yes. All right, so refresher. I know functional plans aren't the thing on top of mind for most folks, but what's really important about them is they guide the big approaches to how staff do the work. They don't decide what we're going to do, but how we approach it. and they really help us to implement things from the comprehensive plan. They haven't been updated in a while, some of them have been, and what we're trying to do is make them a little bit more evergreen. Next slide, please. So we're working on 5 of the functional plans right now. And what's really important that's different than what you would have seen before is that there are 4 chapters that make up each of the functional plans now, and all the chapter titles are the same. That way the plans can talk to each other better and people can cross-communicate and make sure that we are coordinating. So if we're doing a development project, it talks to maybe the natural resources or the parks plan, the trails plan talks to the parks plan and the natural resource plan, etc. Where we are basically is what's the state of affairs? Where we want to be is the direction that we're heading. It starts to set some standards there. How we get there is a lot about strategy, and how are we doing is really how do we evaluate what we're doing and show we've set out to, or we've done what we set out to do. If you compare what is coming in a little bit with the old ones, we removed anything that was sort of a check the box. I'm like, yep, we did that, that's done. We didn't want the plans to feel stale in a few years. Because we removed a lot of those things and we're really focusing on outcome-based things that require direction and funds in the strategic and comp plans, we will be coming to you only very rarely to say, hey, we've updated some things, but we will be more informative than we need you to approve these. Next slide, please. Keith has been an integral part of the updates, and I'm going to let him talk about 2 of the plans, and then I'll cover the others.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce, and good evening. I haven't seen some of you in a while, so good evening to the board. It's nice to be here. So I am going to update very quickly the athletic facilities functional plan, as well as a new plan, the facilities functional plan. So the athletic facilities functional plan was originally approved in 2016. So it's going on about 8-9 years old. The focus of this plan, it says facilities, but the focus really of this plan is outdoor fields and courts, not necessarily facilities, but that's the term that we use. It was developed to provide direction and guidance for staff to implement goals related to our athletic facilities. So key sections within this plan, within the existing plan, are the inventory of district-owned and maintained athletic facilities, design guidelines, service levels, and maintenance standards, and evaluations of capacity, current use, and future demand, as well as guidance on evaluating future needs and investments. So some updates that we're working on currently, and as Aisha said, Peter is actively involved. We're kind of co-leading this, but he is doing a real heavy lift. So big thanks to him for that. So some of the things we're doing right now, update-wise, are we're updating our inventory. One of the things I wanted to note in the 2016 plan, we noted 2 outdoor pickleball facilities. In our updated plan, we're looking at just under 40. We have 38 outdoor pickleball facilities. So a good reason as to why it's good to periodically update these plans. We're looking at our level of services, or our level of service assessment is focusing on our community athletic facilities in the new plan and how access, the amenities, and locations are meeting the community needs. Similar to our current plan, we're analyzing demand for our facilities and using the data to help guide decision making. And then finally, we're trying to better align this plan with the program's functional plan, which guides how we provide service to the community. The next plan is the newest plan to our suite of functional plans, and it's the facilities functional plan. So as Bruce mentioned, we're going to follow the format of all the other plans. Really what we're doing is establishing a baseline for our facilities. Oftentimes they're aging facilities, as you all know. Some of our, as you can see in the photo, some of our facilities are aging. So we're kind of trying to establish a baseline and develop plans for the future at our facilities. We're doing this through inventories. We've done facility condition assessments. We've looked at functionality assessments of how our facilities flow and what needs are there to make programming more efficient. We're also developing standards and best practices for our facilities.
And then really the purpose, there isn't any updates because this is new, but the purpose of the facilities functional plan is to assess our existing conditions, establish those standards I talked about, and what do we want to offer at our facilities and what have we heard from the community. We want to establish how we make decisions and how we prioritize future improvements at our facilities. As I mentioned, we're assessing the function and the flow and kind of trying to work with our consultant to determine what does a recreation facility of the future look like? What areas do we need to program? What do we need to do to carry our facilities into the future to efficiently program and be able to efficiently maintain? And then finally, we're trying to we're ensuring that we're aligning this plan with other key THPRD plans that impact our facilities. So we have a programs functional plan that we're working with, the climate action plan that was recently approved. So we're looking at when we're making facility improvements, how does that align with our climate action plan? And then finally, our ADA transition plan. We want to make sure that those plans are talking to each other. The ADA plan is going to be implemented into our facilities functional plan. So that's a quick down and dirty update of those two plans. I'm going to turn it back over to Bruce.
Thank you. I think your last point is really important. Those things are things we're trying to do universally across all the plans. How do they all talk together? The natural resources plan was one of the first ones out of the gate, and it continues to have the same focus. It's giving us guidance on how to manage our physical natural resources, as well as our environmental education programs. So not a lot has changed in that sense. Next slide, please. But we've added a couple things that needed to be emphasized or simply weren't in the original plan. And in particular, there's a little more focus on climate change and how we respond to what we're doing with different plants. There's some criteria now that puts a greater emphasis on equitable access to natural areas, as well as equity and acquisition of natural areas, so existing and future. And then there's a little bit more information about Native American stewardship and some of the early settler days, which represents both the history of the land, but also the current conditions we're dealing with, including things like wildfire risk. The Parks Functional Plan and the Trails Functional Plan, which follow, are largely updated, but not significantly different. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but I think the important things to know is all of the guidance these plans has been updated, especially if something was out of date or wasn't quite current. And again, it continues to basically say, what are the standards for different types of parks that we have and that we may want to build moving forward. There are a few small changes, but I think given the advanced hour, I'm not going to dive into them unless Aisha wants to jump.
I just want to hit on, I think, that third bullet down, and that we are injecting into this update of the plan things that we've learned over time that weren't in our previous plan. So things about destination parks and shade and playground surfacing that we've learned after developing and trying a bunch of different things. Those are going to be components that are added to this new version of the functional plan.
Yes, and shade something that's crossing a couple of different plans. It's like shade around areas where people congregate, shade for natural resource health, shade for aesthetics. So, and shade has a couple of different forms. I won't get into it. I'm excited about that one.
Me too.
There's built shade and there's natural shade. I'll stop there. The Trails Functional Plan, I think, is actually the least changed plan, with the exception of we've built a lot of pieces of the trail network, which is amazing to see the transformation from now and then. So we have updated trail maps that say what's constructed, and we also have some new pieces because we've expanded into North Bethany and South Cooper. Can you move to the next slide? We've also looked at some of our guiding plans and tried to update some of our prioritization criteria. Some of that is around environmental justice and equity. Some of it is just a fine tuning of what was there, because we have a lot of criteria, and what we're trying to do is get to a point where the tools are actively used by staff and are easy. And I also want to note with all the plans, we want the public to understand how are decisions made and what are some of those outcomes they're seeing. So although the plans are somewhat technical, they are written in terms the average person should understand. Ultimately, all of the plans will be packaged into kind of what I'm calling a big book, but it'll be digital. So a lot of the introductory stuff will go in one section. There'll be a glossary for all of the plans, and then each of these 5 that you heard about tonight will have its own sort of chapter in that book. So we're happy to answer questions or take any feedback that you have.
Takers.
Exciting.
Great.
I look forward to reading the easy and accessible language, the target demographic, so.
Thank you for welcoming us along the journey as these are updated. Thank you for, I'm sorry that I did not see that you were here. And so, Mr. Swinton on the line, thank you for the tremendous work. Understanding, I'm going to steal your language, Bruce. This is an advanced hour, and I'm sure there was some greater detail. We got a heart emoji. Okay.
Bruce, we'll need to talk shade sometime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for the tremendous work.
Very welcome.
Mr. Menke, anything
Now
else?
I believe we're there.
Now we believe we're there. Okay. Felicita, thank you for hanging in there. All of our remote participants, thank you so much for staying in online. And with that, I will officially say we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Mark, Angel, David, thank you.
Highway still open?
The highway, they can keep that open.